Feels weird. Okay. Testing. Okay. All right. Should be live and good to go. What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Let me just do a double check. I lost all my tabs that I had here on Chrome. Good afternoon, man. So, Quanell is supposed to be having a presser in a little bit, in about 30 minutes. Figure we come here and chill, talk about. I don't think there's been really that many things today. There's a couple more clips of Quanell. I'm gonna do a little scan. Figure I just come in early, get set up, get this Facebook stuff open up. What's up, man? If you guys get the like button, thank you for stopping by. Amazing. Thank you, Don Marie. Thank you for the membership. Thanks, R3M3, R2D3. Donate. That boy doubling down, triple down, and everything. Let me see if I find that clip on Facebook. Quanell. Let me see Quanell's page. Let me see if Quanell's posted anything new. That boy double down, triple down, and he ain't playing nothing new yet. Just that he's going to do a press conference today. News Nation spoke of Quanell as well. There was the Chris Cuomo, but then now there's a Brian Enton clip. There's also a clip that came out like at 1 in the morning, bro. We can start out with the 1 in the morning clip, the one where he's snapping. Let's start out with this. What's up? Cheeks. Let me check real quick. Grizzy Hood News. Let's see what's going on with her. 22 minutes was live.
Peeps, I'm going to wait for a couple of you guys to hop on. So what I am wanting to do with this video is just to inform you guys that at 5 p.m. there will be a press conference. We will be live streaming it for you guys. And this is in regards to Rudy Farias, the young man that was missing for 8 years. And turns out that he was living in Northeast Houston with his mother the entire time. We're going to be hearing from Quanell X along with his Rudy's family. And we will be live streaming it. You know, we were going to hear more about it. The family's going to be asking for justice. That's the demands. They want justice for, you know, all the stuff that Rudy's been through. And we're going to live stream at 5 p.m. Grizzy's Hood News, not Grizzly, Grizzy.
She had made a post. I don't know. She made a post. Let me show you the post that she made earlier. She made a post about, I guess people were calling her Grizzly or something. I don't know if I did it by accident. I know it's Grizzly's Hood News, but she was referring to TikTok. Grizzly, don't mess it up. Don't fuck it up. Don't even shout me out if you can't even say it right. Oh, Lord. She said, this was earlier. If I can find it to show you guys, especially the people that don't got Facebook. I know some people jumped out of Facebook, mass exodus. She posted this 16 hours ago. Hey, TikTok influencers. My name is Grizzy with the eyes. It's not that hard. No letter L. You don't even have to give me shout outs if you're going to say it wrong. Thank you. Damn. Lord almighty. So I guess she's reiterating that here. Oh, no. What's up, everybody? Welcome, man. If you guys could help me out with the like button, please, por favor. I'd appreciate that, por favor, man. Help me out with the algorithm. Please. Let's see.
And let's see what else. Anybody he's been through. And we're gonna live stream at 5 p.m. Grizzy's Hood News, not Grizzly.
By the way, she's out of sync. It seems like, surprisingly, it's not actually us.
Grizzy's. And let's see what else. Anybody? Facebook Live. All right. Thank you so much. 5 p.m. We're gonna be in Northeast Houston in front of the home where he stayed all those years.
So that's what I heard. The press conference is going to be in front of the house, the Skeezer house. Laura Wade, thank you so much for the super chat. Says hello, Mel bots. Everyone, hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for the call last night. Anastasia, thank you for the membership. Amazing.
And just out and everything, just crazy. You don't want to miss it, friends.
All right, so that's Grizzy, and her thing is in the description to her Facebook page. So she's on and popping over there. She's going to be there in person. She's been getting, honestly, better clips than the news, because the news, I guess they have segments and everything's chopped up and cut up. And even the live stuff, a lot of times they cut it out, and Grizzly's out there like having longer clips and talks with family and stuff like that, and bringing us information. So, okay, check this out. Let's check this out. This came out super late. I was on Twitch when this came out. I was on Twitch just playing some video games, and I was hanging out with like maybe 10 people or something like that.
First off, I guess you watched the press conference today with the Houston Police Department. What was your initial reaction when you saw it?
I believe it was a very confusing press conference. I wind up after the press conference being more confused about things involving this case.
And I think there's like a pause. They did a weird job. Whoever edited this video, a very, very weird job of editing and chopping up this video. It was bizarre.
Listen to the chief, who I do believe is a good man, who's done some good things, who's had his ups and downs, but he's a good man. I've always wanted to be truthful.
Okay.
For him to say, as a father himself,
Ooh,
that no sexual abuse was reported. My problem with that, Chief, is your detective sat right there with me for an hour and 15 minutes and heard every word come out of Rudy's mouth about what took place at home with his mother. He heard the young man say he was sick and tired of being treated like a slave. He was sick and tired of her crossing inappropriate boundaries.
Is that how he worded it, Rudy?
He went on to say, he said, she kept crossing boundaries that she should not cross. And it was not right. It was inappropriate. That detective sat right next to me and listened to those words. What that young man told us and described to us.
So you're doubling down with
that was a weird place to cut it. What that young man told us what?
That young man told us and described to us.
So you're doubling down with what you said yesterday.
I'm not doubling down. I'm standing straight up and standing firm, and I'm not scratching where I don't itch. But there were times he seemed mature. Also, there were times he seemed like he was a normal adult speaking and describing something. This BS about him being nonverbal, the man is not nonverbal.
Quanell setting it straight, because that was a big point of contention. I know we had a call about that, and people were kind of going back and forth. Mama put that out, the whole nonverbal-ish. Okay? And I know there was a lot of talk too, because I guess some people had said that Grizzy at one point had said that he had limited speech, but then I also heard her say more recently that he's articulate. So, I mean, maybe both can be true. You know, maybe he's just not great at communicating. I'm not sure.
He's very articulate. So we went in and stepped out. We were standing at the door with the door cracked. She starts badgering him about, what did you tell him? What did you tell him? If you tell him about what I did, if you tell him about the abuse, I'll kill myself.
Bruh.
That's what she said, and several of us standing at the door heard her say it to him. We heard her tell that boy, several of us, that if he didn't change his story, she would kill herself.
So why would he, like, for people that's what I'm saying, like, I just have a hard time believing that he would concoct that, especially with multiple witnesses. And at some point in this clip, he says he has proof of what was said. And that's what I was talking about last night. I was like, damn, did this guy bring a little recorder in there? Maybe. He's experienced. He's been doing this for years, dealing with cops for years. Did he have a little recording device in there, record the conversation? Kind of gangster if he did. I'm not scratching where I don't itch. I never heard that before, too. I'm not scratching where I itch. Or where is it? Or I'm not scratching where I don't itch. I never heard of that shit. It must be some old time shit.
Witness, we heard her say that. Man, he's a victim. And I believe HPD with their press conference today further re-victimizes that young man.
Flip it on him, yeah.
Because it's almost like they're treating him like a suspect.
When he said this, at first I thought he was upset. It's almost like they're treating him like a slave. I would say, oh shit, boy, popping off, but no, like a suspect.
Young man. Because it's almost like they're treating him like a suspect and not a victim. You say there's no report of sexual abuse, but you won't answer the question if there was a sexual relationship. You run away from that question. I know what was said, and I'm gonna tell you something now. I got proof of what was said. I'll leave it at that for now.
Ooh, fire! I got proof. So not only double downing or not scratching the itch that doesn't exist, he says he has proof. Triple, quadruple, whatever downing.
Did the detectives hear her say this to Rudy?
Several of us standing there. The detectives were standing there too.
Wow.
Not even just one extra person, multiple people.
We cracked the door.
So at this point, were you thinking
I'm being honest with you. There was two things I was thinking. Based on everything that, one, he was not going home or anywhere else with her. Two, they were going to call and get charges accepted. She told multiple lies. They knew she was lying.
Do you worry about Rudy's health and safety right now?
Absolutely, I do. Because I believe she's at the root of the mental problems he's having. I believe she's at the root of that young boy living in fear. She had convinced him that he had warrants out for his arrest because he ran away from home. She had convinced him to live under the assumed name because law enforcement was looking to put him in jail for running away from home. She convinced that young boy that he had warrants for his arrest, and that's how she manipulated him and exploited him and took advantage of it. And then giving him helping him give him the drugs, mushrooms, taking him to vape shops, getting high with him. She was
getting high with him.
Getting high with him.
Oof.
Oh, brother, okay. I mean,
wow.
Is there anything else you want to say?
That's it. But there's nowhere in the world you can tell me in your press conference, HPD, that she lied over and over again during this investigation. And those lies hindered an ongoing investigation to a missing person. Created assumed names, and she's to be charged with nothing.
And then it's just, there's no volume here. I really don't know who edited this, but weird cuts kind of stuff. And then there's just no audio at the end. The volume's super low, so you obviously
assumed names,
they didn't check the sound level or anything.
And she's to be charged with nothing.
I mean, I just posted a story with no volume, so the last part. Damn, bro. Queasy.
As Natasha
Where's this came from? This is 52 minutes ago. Let's see what this is.
just said,
So by the way, yeah, the press conference is it's in about 15 minutes. So we started early to chill, just talk a little bit and wait for the presser. Grizzly says she's going to be there live. Grizzly's Hood News. I'm going to see if there's any other news media stations out there as well. Quanell's going to be in front of the family's house. The house where Mama was at, Mama and Rudy. They're going to be doing a presser out there with family, I guess. And
let's bring him in. Activist Quanell X, who is planning on holding that press conference in just a few hours, demanding Rudy's mother be charged in the case. Quanell, thank you so much for giving us some of your time here. First, let's just start. You're very invested in this, almost from when this first came out last week. We started to hear your name. What is your connection to this saga? Is there a personal connection?
The mother reached out to me and asked me for help and assistance to deal with the investigators because she was afraid that they were being intimidating and she didn't feel comfortable interacting and dealing with them. And so I said, okay, no problem. I will talk to you about the details of the case. And then we'll go ahead and set up a point to meet with investigators. We did that. When we talked, she said one thing to me. In particular, she said that the man at her home that neighbors had seen was her ex-boyfriend. But in the meeting with investigators, she said, oh, no, that was my nephew, along with one other thing she said that was totally not true. At that point, I felt it was necessary to talk to Rudy without the mother being present, because when we went into the room, she told all of us, investigators as well as myself, who she asked to come and help her, that he was nonverbal and could not talk. Once she was removed from the room, Rudy opened up and spoke in detail about his relationship with his mother, his interaction with his mother, and the things his mother did to him that no woman on earth should ever do to her child or any child.
All right, so Quanell, that was one of my questions for you. So, his mother said that he was nonverbal. We didn't know whether it was from the trauma of this alleged disappearance or whether he was just a nonverbal person. But you're saying that Rudy is, in fact, verbal. He can speak.
Absolutely verbal. And when he calms down, he's not emotional, he's articulate, he's clear, and he can clearly think about what he's talking about and what he's saying. There are moments that he has that are very traumatic for him when he starts going back through the memories that causes him to break down and cry. But yes, he's absolutely verbal, and he's very crystal clear when he speaks.
All right. So I want to talk about that interview. I want to talk about what you spoke with. But first, where is Rudy right now, and are you concerned for his safety?
I'm absolutely concerned for his safety. In fact, I pleaded with investigators after he spoke to me and the investigators together for an hour and 15 minutes. That entire interview with Rudy, I sat there with the detective for an hour and 15 minutes. And based on what we heard, we stepped out of the meeting, and I said to the detective and all three of them together, there was 3 detectives. I said, you cannot let this young man leave with that woman. Please do not let him leave with his mother. After everything we just heard, after what he just told us, you cannot let him leave with his mother. And at that point, they began to start the process of trying to separate her from him at that point. But she was able to creep back to the room and begin to question him about what he told us. And she asked him, did you tell him about our relationship? And Rudy said, yes. And then she said to him, you got to take that back. You cannot tell them that. I will kill myself.
So he's been telling the same story, Quanell, everywhere he goes. There really hasn't been a change. He's told the same story in multiple different media outlets. Sunshine and Tan Lines, thank you so much for gifting the 5 memberships. Amazing. To the new members, make sure you check out the front page of my YouTube, and there's videos, members videos there, members only videos. So, yeah, Quanell's been saying the same thing, man. Back to back to back. Got a couple more minutes. Hasn't really wavered, hasn't changed, and he's even doing a press conference. This whole, the thing is, I guess police are limited, right? Like, somewhat limited as far as like with that meeting. He's a grown adult. Can they force him? They can't grab him and like, no, you're not going to go with this person, right? Like, I can't really force him. But the denial in the press conference was weird, and it kind of, it did throw Quanell like under the bus. Like as if he just fabricated this stuff and just concocted it and came up with it in his head,
That's exactly what she said to him after he had spoke to the detective for an hour and 15 minutes. That detective heard everything that Rudy said in crystal clear detail. He heard Rudy say that she made him sleep in the bed with her often, and he did not want to do it. He heard Rudy say that I hated doing that she was violating my boundaries. And we asked Rudy, did anything else happen in the bedroom? He said she would kiss him on the lips. And she would get in the bed naked sometime with him. Geez. He went on to say to us that he would be in the restroom and he would be in the shower and she would get naked and come in the restroom and pull back the shower curtain. And I don't want to go any further because I don't think it would be fair to Rudy. But the things that she said to us were graphic in nature. This young man was the victim of incest and sexual abuse. She said to him, you gotta be my husband now, and you gotta play daddy now. That's exactly what he said to me, as well as the investigator.
All right.
Man, that's some crazy. I've kind of heard that sometimes mothers like overdoing it, or women that date guys that their mother's like overly kind of like into their relationship and into what the son's doing, and kind of like they can't have their own relationship, and mama's kind of like upset about the relationship type of shit. I don't know. And then the thing too, like, so they said, incest is illegal in Texas, but what is the line that I guess they consider it like I guess it has to be like sexual in nature. So I don't know, like this whole kissing thing. And then in the bed naked. I mean, it seems like Quanell's alluding to more happened, but I don't know if he said more did happen. I guess Rudy did. I don't know if that comes to the line of, okay, well, this is sexual incest. You know, I don't know. It's odd. And then the whole thing, which we were talking about last night, that Rudy's father. So many weird things about that, right? Rudy's father was married to another woman and he cheated on that woman with Rudy's mother. And that's how Rudy came to be. And the father had named his other son, his first son, Rudy the Fourth, in their, I guess, their lineage or whatever. Janie, Rudy's mom, comes along and says, you know what? I'm just going to call Rudy the Fourth too. Just cuz. I guess to like maybe mess with the dad or like, you know, I don't know, like try to do something. Maybe this is what this relationship was about to this. Now you're the husband. Since he didn't want me, you're going to be my husband. You're going to play this role. You're a dad now. I don't know. And then, of course, this guy offed himself because he was a corrupt cop. He got caught scheming and scamming like mama. Where they had this whole ticket scheme going on where I think it was like 4 officers involved that they caught. And what happened was like he'd be in one location as a witnessing officer to a speeding ticket or whatever, or some sort of ticket. And at that same time, he's like 9 miles away writing a ticket somewhere else. And so they're like, well, how is this person writing 2 tickets at the same time in 2 different places? That shit don't add up. And so they started an investigation, started catching on to him. He had made over like 150 something thousand in overtime and going to court. I guess this was like a hustle. I don't know. Some cops are doing this shit, hustling people tickets and showing up to court, earning overtime money. And so he offed himself in the patrol car. And that's how they found him.
So Quanell, obviously very explosive allegations that you were making. And so we know what you're saying. You are very clear on what you say happened in that interview room. We just heard that snippet from investigators, from police in Natasha's reporting. They essentially say the polar opposite of what you are saying. How can you explain this?
It's not the polar opposite. The question was raised to them, was there any sexual abuse? And the man says, well, it was not reported to me. I'm trained to find these things and see these things. Then the next question was there a sexual relationship between a mother and a son? They refused to answer the question and said, we treat all victims the same and we give them their privacy. Why did not you answer? Was there a sexual relationship? You chose not to answer because you know what Rudy told us in that meeting. They heard it in detail, just like I did. And to be honest with you, I asked them on 3 separate occasions at the end of that meeting, is there anything I should not say to the media that would jeopardize your investigation?
They
on
said
3
no.
separate occasions, they said no. I was attempting to be courteous and thoughtful.
Because, yeah, he was getting a lot of criticism. He was getting a lot of fire because people were saying, and maybe you could still make that same criticism whether police said it's okay or not, but he was getting a lot of fire for that. And he said that he did check with police and they said, whatever, whatever. Say what, they didn't.
To the investigation, but they said no. They heard Rudy talk about the abuse and the drugs his mother was giving him and got to him, the mushrooms, etc. They heard all of that.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com.
Wow. It was this Brian Enton clip too.
Sergeant Detective sat next to me in the entire hour and 15-minute meeting and dialogue and discussion with Rudy Farias. He heard exactly everything Rudy said to me. He sat right next to me. He even asked Rudy to please explain more about the episodes in the bathroom where Rudy told us she would violate his space over and over again, violate his boundaries. She would come into the bathroom while he was in the shower, get butt naked, and pull back the shower curtain, stare at him, and among other things I don't say right now. But also, this detective heard Rudy say he did not want to get into bed and sleep with his mother. He heard Rudy say that he told his mother he didn't want to get into bed with her on more than one occasion, that she forced him to sleep with her in the bed and she would get into bed in the nude. And we asked Rudy, he and I both, the detective, were there any kissing? And Rudy admitted that there was kissing on the lips from his mother. Listen, the detective heard this. And before I left that detective, I said, sir, on 3 occasions, is there anything you don't want me to say when I go out here and speak with the media that jeopardizes your investigation? He said no. But that detective, after coming out of that same meeting with Rudy with me, they decided to take the mother into another room. And according to the witnesses that were out there, put her in handcuffs. Obviously, he heard something that was in that meeting that Rudy shared with us that made him believe he needed to put handcuffs on his mother. The same young man, Rudy, I believe is absolutely a victim. She threatened him with lying about an alias name, creating the date of birth, and telling him to say that. She told him when he came home 2 days after running away that the police are looking for you to put you in jail for running away.
Wow. All right, so let's see. It's 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central Time. I still don't see any live feeds yet. Rudy Farias. Oh.
I did see him myself. It's going to cause more questions.
Let's see it live. Okay, San Antonio has. Okay, I found 2 stations that at least have a link, so we can use that. All right, so they're on hold. Okay, actually, I like this feed better actually because we can get a visual, get a little visual. Okay. Let me go full screen. All right, so we're just chilling. We're waiting. This is outside of the house. Shady Lives. There it is. It's right there. A lot of times, these things maybe don't start on time or it takes time to set up or things happening behind the scenes. So, but we're here. We got it. They got to do sound checks all the time, and they still don't get it right somehow. But GoFundMe up and running soon. You think so? I saw this post yesterday. I just the thought that came to my mind. Let me see if I can find the original post. See if it was in the Facebook group. Let me think of some crazy shit.
I'm telling y'all, this shit is crazy, y'all. Netflix is ridiculous.
I have followed Janie Bella for years. Janie used to bring her boys and herself into the salon I worked in from 2010 to 2014. This is not the post I was referring to. This is something different. I kept up with Rudy's disappearance for a long time. I would always go check Janie's page from time to time for updates. I too prayed for him and his return. I guess her maybe. Fast forward, just over digging into her multiple profiles, disorder, sociopathic ways, came across these posts of hers or Bella's, whoever. I just cannot. Let's see, what's she talking about?
I can't even run my news page anymore like normal because of this story.
Oh, it was another name here? Bella Ninos? I just want to take a moment to apologize to my sister. We had a fallout, and I had not spoken with her since. I miss our chats, and I hope we can talk again soon. Hugs. She won't talk to me, though. It's my fault. It's the same bitch pretending like you guys talking to each other. I've seen people like this, yo. Don't think this is just like a one-off, some sort of rare occurrence. I've seen psycho people like this with multiple accounts talking to each other and shit. One person talking to each other. She's mad at me. Yeah, we're not talking. It's hard to apologize and admit when we're wrong, especially to our sisters. Hopefully, you will all work it out. Life is short. Don't waste your egos and pride. Your love for each other should be stronger. Try telling her that. She's stubborn as a mule. But you're right about that. Life is too short. You know what, Bella? You're the bigger person. You're such a good person. You publicly apologize to yourself. $50 to the first person who recognizes these feet. Damn sure ain't your feet. Or I don't know whose feet that is. Those are some nice feet though. Janie? I made it too easy for you. Oh, so she got caught up in the shit? Janie, is that you? Oh, that's Janie's feet? You know, Janie, that ain't your feet. Oh, we gotta do this shit. Now I just thought of something. We gotta plug this bitch in. Definitely Janie. Nice kept nails. Sexy. Simp here. But yet fancy shoes. The cars are convertible. The interior looks to be like that of a nice luxury car. Probably a Mercedes. And of course, the mole on the second toe. Oh, I like that. Of her right foot. I've been studying it. Good eye. I guess you remembered her feet from high school, LOL. Some things never change. Going to throw her a party next weekend. She's single again. So it's going to be a sort of coming out party. She's beat COVID-19. And now she's being strong and getting through a breakup. Come celebrate with us. Inbox me for details. Another fake account, bro. Bella. Bella Ninos. Oh, noticed. I wonder where Bella's at. So they were saying that she's out of the. She's not even in. Is it true? Did she leave already? She's not in the state. Let me see. I think Bossy maybe sent it to me. Oh, 2015. Oh, never mind. This is in 2015. 2015, Jenny Santana, Rudy's mother, crossed state lines physically and electronically to exploit, manipulate, and deceive. Oh, this is some other weird shit. Bruh. Apparently, this lady got involved in some other missing case or something. In 2015, Jenny Santana, Rudy's mother, crossed state lines physically and electronically to exploit, manipulate, and deceive Jack's mother, Tina, by filling a false report with Cohasuta Tribal Police claiming Jake and Rudy were seen together. And this is an actual page of somebody that's missing. 8 years missing without one proper investigation. Jake. First contact from Santana to Jake's mother. Questions: why did Santana contact Jake's mother? What prompted Santana's first DM to Jake's mother? When did Santana concoct her plan? Where was Rudy at this time? Who assisted Santana? And how did Santana fool everyone? Hi, Tina. My name is Janie Santana. I'm Rudy Farias' the fourth's mother. I wanted to take a moment to say that you and your son are in my thoughts and prayers. The devil, right? Reaching out to you. I pray you find your baby soon. Please let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Hugs with a heart. Thank you so much. And that goes the same for you. You're both in my prayers. Prayers work. I'm here if you ever need someone to just scream at that knows how you feel. God bless you and with you. God bless you and be with you. August 20th, 2015. Miss Santana's, Rudy Farias' mother, scripted this narrative for Jake's mother to post Jake missing Facebook page, which Tina did. This is when Santana crossed state lines, filed a false report with the Tribal Police, although Rudy and Jake were never seen together. Who posted this shit? Okay, so they were told to post this and shit. All right. Rudy Farias the fourth, aka the Rutster, from Houston, Texas, and Jake from Louisiana. As some of you know, Janie's son Rudolph Farias the fourth and my son Jake have both been missing, and until recently have both been confirmed to be seen. Oh, that is jacked up. seen in Kinder, Louisiana on Thursday, August 20th, 2015 at about 2 p.m. Through video surveillance, Janie, along with family and friends, learned that they were just hours behind our boys upon arriving in Louisiana. They were with an older Mexican man, with all having Mexican IDs on some Letitia shit, right, in their possessions, from what the security guards said when they were asked for their identifications. Very little to no eye contact was given from the boys, and Rudy does not have a black eye on his left eye, where he had obviously been assaulted. Rudy did look as though he was afraid. Also, from what security guards were saying, Rudy did look frightened. And from the looks of it, Jake was Rudy's protector. Oh, ugh. Maybe because he was a little older, who knows. Both boys did walk with a limp. Oh, they got the limp thing going on too. Both with injuries on both of their right legs. Simultaneous injuries in same locations. Jake is mentally and physically disabled, and it's very difficult to understand Jake when he speaks. Jake too? So be both mindful of that when looking out for Jake and Rudy. This is the first time they have been any real substantial leads for me in my son's case since his disappearance. Janie and I have never met before this or had known one another until we came together through both of our son's disappearances. Never in a million years did I ever think my son's case would be connected to another missing person's case, especially not from Texas. But the good news is that both of our sons, Jake and Rudolph, are both still very much alive, and time is of the essence to find our sons. I had to give a special shout out to the security guards in Kinder, Louisiana for putting their jobs on the line for our sons. They risked losing their jobs to come forward to do the right thing, even though they were told repeatedly not to get involved and not to say anything to us about our sons. Thank you, Chelsea, Nicole, and Chris for coming forward. I'll read it over here. This is just weird. What the hell is this and what is going on? Where are we at now? Another missing person? I'm trying to understand this. So was Janie trying to manipulate or trick some other missing person family to corroborate that Jake is missing and taken by Mexicans over the border, and like it was a group of guys that it must be like a ring of taking people and boys and stuff. Wow. Okay. Another post. This person going. We could do a whole. Oh, there's like a bunch of posts. I thought it was gonna be like something brief. Maybe after the press conference, we can look at this. I mean, honestly, we could do a whole stream on this. August 22, 2015. First contact with Jake's mother, Maria Gill and Christina Jacks. What in the hell? I feel like I've seen this person before. Maria, who's that? Maria Gill, Christina Jacks. Many DMs over the years, too many people, too many to post separately. One contact sheet of many from 2015 to 2017, all leading to Miss Tina to believe her son was still alive and possibly with Rudy. Damn, bro. This woman is a heifer. So I don't know the Jake story, and I don't know what happened, right? But that is jacked up. This lady just inserted herself into another missing person to say that they've been together. And so recently, Miss Tina heard Rudy was found, and she reached out to Santana, and the 0.001% chance that Jake could be with Rudy. Santana replying as Bella, still giving Miss Tina false hopes, and related that she was still manipulating and exploiting Tina. I must be. Oh shit. Okay. Damn. Oh, he came out with the Black Panthers. Oh shit. Military, bro. What's this? Security? Is this Black Panther or something else? All right, here we go. That boy rolling deep. We need a new thumbnail. Who's that? The cap. The neighbor? Keisha. That's not Keisha. Let me just see something. Do we have better audio with Keisha?
HPD said that no sexual abuse was reported.
So there's a delay.
That detective is an absolute liar.
Oh shit.
He said there with me.
Okay.
We bear witness with one God to whom praise is due forever.
I'll fix the volume.
The sender of Moses and the Torah, Jesus and the gospel, Muhammad in the Quran, peace be upon all the worthy servants of Almighty God. I have come here today to speak up on behalf of Rudy Farias. I have come here today to speak that which that young man spoke to me. I have come here today to clear up one thing in particular, the lie that HPD told. HPD said that no sexual abuse was reported. That detective is an absolute liar. He sat there with me for an hour and 15 minutes and listened to every word Rudy said to me. In fact, he told the detective, I want Quanell to stay. And Grizzy was right there with us. Rudy asked, could he go home with me? He asked the detectives, can I go home with Quanell? She's right. We have witnesses to this. This detective heard everything Rudy said to me. But he was angry with me also because the detective did not want me in the meeting. He did not want me in the room. And it really got confrontational. We have the video of he and I's heated argument about them asking me to come in and the cops not wanting me to go in. The detective heard Rudy say to me out of his own mouth, detective sitting right next to me, that in this house, she made him sleep in the bed with her all the time. And that young boy said to me and that detective that I did not like it. I didn't want to do it, that she was crossing boundaries and she would not respect my space and respect my boundaries. He said to that detective right in front of me that she would kiss him in the mouth when she made him get in the bed with her in this rotten ass house. She forced that boy to play daddy. She forced that young man to be her husband. He said to me in front of the detective, she told me I had to be her husband. He said to me in front of that detective, she said, I gotta be the daddy now. He said to me in front of that detective that she would come in the restroom while he was in the shower and she would get naked completely herself and pull the curtain back on that young boy, and I'll leave it right there because the rest will make you want to vomit. So for HPD to say that no sexual abuse was reported to them, they're absolute liars. That man heard everything that I heard.
These are blessed waters from my mom.
I'm standing here speaking the truth.
That's water.
Of what Rudy said to me. And I'm standing here fighting for that young man. I begged the detective, don't allow Rudy to go home with this woman. Don't allow Rudy to leave with this woman. I begged them to do something to stop him. I said to the detective, all three of them, after what you and I just heard in that room with that young man, how in the hell can you allow that boy to leave with that woman? And the detective said to me, because he is an adult, there's not a lot we can do about it. The detective, I also said to him, I said, sir, you know everything that young boy just told us. You cannot allow him to leave with her. That young boy told us how she would lock him in the room and leave him locked in there. That young boy told us how she would give him drugs, mushrooms as he called them. That young boy talked about how the drugs would cause him to hallucinate. She lied and told me when I first talked to her that the Hispanic young man that was seen here was her ex-boyfriend. And then when we were in the meeting with the detectives, She said it was her nephew. She'd been telling lies for years. So you mean to tell me, Houston Police Department, this woman can tell multiple lies to law enforcement. She can raise money all on GoFundMe pages. Let's go! I talked with the investigator for at length today who worked on this case for years, the private investigator. She would raise money for Miss Jenny. And one time she said when she raised the money for her, she only came for 5 minutes, picked up the $2,000 and drove off and left and didn't even thank the people who was raising the money on behalf of Rudy to look for him.
Damn, that's what she did?
I cannot believe and I refuse to believe that there's not a single charge that they can come up with to put this woman in jail.
Well, I want them to
so a judge can tell her you can have no contact with the victim, just like you do in domestic violence cases. If a man gets arrested for putting his hands on a wife, God forbid, they tell him that you cannot have any contact with the victim. Rudy is a victim. The reason why he was so willing to lie is because she had convinced him that the police had warrants out for his arrest because he had ran away. And she told him, because you ran away and they were looking for you and they spent resources looking for you, that you have a warrant for your arrest. And if they catch you, you're going to jail. She had convinced the young man to wear an assumed name because he thought he was in trouble for running away. Rudy also said to us, me and the detective, on more than one occasion, he put his head down in tears right before he began to talk about him playing daddy at her request, and he got to be the husband. He has to be the husband, is what he said. He said, I don't want my mama to go to prison. I don't want my mama to go to jail. On yesterday, when the question was asked, was there a sexual relationship? The sergeant lied in his response. And then the next question was there a sexual relation between the mother and her son? They refused to answer that question and said he's a victim and we protect all sexual assault victims. See, they know what I'm saying is the truth. That dirty, low-down damn cop was right there with me when Rudy said everything that he said.
Oh, shit!
Let's go back and look at the press conference. Why didn't you say, well, from what we know, there was no sexual relationship? You so freely saying that there was no sexual abuse reported. So what are you suggesting? Because he was of age, he gave consent? Is that what you're trying to suggest? Let me tell you something. Rudy is a victim. And for HPD to suggest on any level that that young boy may be involved in this scheme, that's wrong.
Oof.
That boy wasn't involved in no scheme.
Ooh.
That woman a straight up monster. I'm telling you straight up. That's what that woman is. Woman sit there and told Grizzy and I both multiple lies. Multiple lies.
Grizzly, let's get it, Grizzly.
And then get in the room with the detective and she starts singing a whole nother song. Rudy, in my opinion, his safety is in danger. Until he can be removed and placed with loving family or put in a facility where he can receive the type of mental health treatment and drug detox treatment that he needs. He needs that help. And right now he's not getting that help. And what further angers me, you know, for that cop to hear about all the drug abuse and he ain't do nothing to get that boy no help. Should have called. I say, man, call the paramedics. Take this kid to the hospital. Look at him. Then she told a big lie when we first got there. And I hate to put you on the spot, Grizzy, but if it wasn't for Grizzy, I would have never got involved.
Ooh, okay, Grizzy.
Let me say that again.
Wow. Big
shout out. If it wasn't for Grizzy, that mother never would have called me. But she called me thinking I was going to help cover up with the lies she would tell and defend her. Man, let me tell you something. everyone should be praying for Rudy and should be outraged with how this is being handled. That woman should be under the jail. I'm telling you for a fact what this young man said to me, and I'm going to leave it at this. HPD, don't try me.
Ooh.
Because I got it on record what he said to me. But for the sake of the victim, I'll respect that young man's dignity as my lawyers told me to. But if you try me with your lies again,
whoa,
I'll let everybody hear what that young man said.
Let's go. Oh my god.
But I want to respect that young man's privacy.
I could like feel that
because
shit.
What he went through should be for him to expose to a therapist.
Wow.
And not for me to share with the public, but I covered my bases. I'll take your questions.
Let's go.
Why do you think HPD is lying?
I think HPD
He said why HPD lying?
is embarrassed that they encountered Rudy on several occasions and did not do their due diligence. When they came to this address, had they done just some basic fundamental research, they would have seen that a child went missing from this address just years before. When they encountered him on other occasions, they didn't do their due diligence. They let that boy keep going with his mother.
Yeah.
When neighbors would call in, when family would call in and say, hey, look, we got this tip about Rudy, they never even followed through. And in fact, they have to tell the whole world now why when Rudy was found, you waited 8 days. 8 days to question him. In fact, they wasn't going to even question Rudy. Let me be clear about that. They had decided that they were not going to question Rudy after the mother told them he's nonverbal. The mother told me and the detectives right in front of Grizzy, oh, he's nonverbal, he can't talk. And so I pulled up a chair and I sat down next to him, and he was holding his mother's leg and crouched all over, and she had covered him up with a blanket. And I said, little brother, can you look at me? And he raised his head up and he looked. He said, I know you. I said, you do? He said, I know you. You, Mr. X. I said, wow, little brother, you speaking now.
Mr. X.
Am I lying, Grizzy?
Nope.
Grizzy.
Then I said, well, young man, can I shake your hand? He put his hand out, he's shaking like this, like a leaf blowing in the wind. And I shook that young man's hand. I said, can you sit up and talk to me? And he looked at his mama. Then she said, no, he gonna have a panic attack. No, he gonna have a breakdown. I said, I think he'll be okay. I said, young fella, you'll be okay? He said, so I helped him up. And we set him in a chair. Then his mama said, well, we need to leave because I think he's gonna have a panic attack. Then the detective said this, well, okay, call us when you think he's better.
Oh, please. Yeah.
Call us when you think he's able to talk. And I said, well, wait a minute. I said, at first he was nonverbal, but he talking right now. I said, give him a chance. The detective said, well, if it's okay with him. And I said, Rudy, would you mind talking to us? He said, yeah. He said, but I said, okay, just ask Grizzy. I said, okay, talk to the detective. I got up to walk out. Rudy grabbed my hand and said, no, I want him to stay. So for all of you people who putting it out there that I put myself into this case, his mama called me and Rudy demanded that I stay. And so I said, okay. I sat down next to him. And we asked the mother to leave. She didn't want to leave.
Or fired.
She said, ma'am, it's important that you leave so we can see if he'll talk. He might open up. So she said, okay. She left. We started talking to him. She came back 3 minutes later, bamming on the door. We opened the door. She said, is he having a panic attack? We said, no, he's fine. Look at him. Rudy was calm. Rudy was calm. I said, look at him. She said, okay, she left. We started talking to him again. She come back 5 minutes later, bamming on the door. Is he okay? Is he okay? We said, oh, he's fine. Look at him. He's fine. We filming this too now. Because we knew what she was trying to do. So then we started talking to him again. And in that moment, it went on for a lengthy period of time then. For about an hour.
That's
then she
Keisha.
came back and tried to interrupt us again. We stopped her. Then it went on for another 15 minutes. Then I did not want Rudy to see me start crying. So I was started turning my back to him like this because of what he was telling me. Hell, I have grown sons. I have a 16-year-old son. And so he grabbed my hand again, and when I turned around, I was crying. And you know what he said to me? He said, "It's okay. Don't cry." Everything I told you that young man said to me, he said right in that room. Everything. And when I got up and we exited that room, I stood in front of those detectives. And this is on camera. We got it on tape.
Got it on tape.
I said, "Sergeant, is there anything that you would not want me to say to the media that would jeopardize your investigation?" He said, "No." I said, "Sir, are you sure? Are you sure?" He said, "No." So we waited for like 5 or 10 more minutes because they took her into another room and they had detained her. They had detained her, put her in handcuffs. Now here's the problem with that. If what the detective heard in that room was not a crime, well then why did he come out the room and put the mama in handcuffs? This ain't passing the smell test, man. If what you heard, detective, was not a crime, why you put that woman in handcuffs? Because he heard the same exact thing I heard. So before I left out again, I said to all three of them, I said, "Is there anything that I should not say that would jeopardize your investigation?" And on the third time, they said no. 3 times I asked them. So HPD, if you keep lying, we'll let everybody see how it all went.
And they are lying.
So, for the sake of Rudy, and I'll close on this last thing. I come out the room, the detective come out the room. As we step away, the door was still semi-cracked. She went in the room with Rudy. She sat down in front of him and started asking him about what he was telling us. Then she said this to him. "Back me up, Grizzly, you were right there." She said, "You gotta change your story. If you tell them what you have told them, she's gonna go to jail." She said, "I'm gonna go to jail and I will kill myself." That's what his mama said to him. And the detectives was right there at the crack door with us.
And I know she said that because she said it to me.
So, Rudy is a victim. Rudy needs help. That kid needs help. I've sat down with many, many men who confessed heinous murders to me. I've sat down with men who've told me about crimes they've committed that I've had to turn in that'll make you vomit. This ain't my first case like this. But Rudy is alive. But if he's allowed to be in that woman's custody at any length of time, he very well might not be. Because I believe she will harm that child to try to cover herself. Any questions?
So based on everything that you heard, what crime do you think was committed? And what do you think she should be charged with?
Well, well, she and I went over that, so I'll let Dr. Matthews handle
I got you on
we
that.
went over at length
I like
with some
her
of
hat,
that.
too. She got
but
that.
let me say this. Incest is a crime in Texas. Even if they want to try to imply subtly it was consensual. That's sick, man. That boy was not in his right mind. That boy was exploited and taken advantage of. Incest is one. There's still some wrestling about the age when this really took place. But making false police reports?
That's another one.
Yes.
And they got the folder.
Multiple false police reports? Yes. Making a false stolen car report? Yes. Absolutely. Lying and saying telling the bank my credit card was stolen and it wasn't stolen. You gave it to Rudy to have in his pocket, to use, to buy things for you. Then you sit there and tell detectives, oh, I canceled that credit card by 6-7 years ago. Damn credit card 2.5 years old. How he get it? From right out of here. That's how he got it. There's multiple crimes. Anyone from the family want to say something? I just want to give them a chance if y'all want to say something on behalf of Rudy or your family. Yes, sir. Next.
Yeah, I know that what Rudy told you has touched you. Obviously, coming here outside of his mother's house is a pretty bold statement. Why did you pick this location to do this?
Because this is where all of it took place. This is ground zero, man, for Rudy Farias and what took place. This house needs to be cleansed. This neighborhood needs to be healed. Everybody in this neighborhood has suffered because of what this woman did. And I came here to let Rudy know we're not afraid to come to your house of horror. Your house of horror right here, we'll come here. Your house of hell, we'll come here. And before I pulled up, I got a phone call before I pulled up.
Police?
Saying that she was inside the house with guns. And that if I came to speak in front of her house, she had guns and she was going to use them.
JD's got a gun.
Let me tell that mama something real
Let's
quick.
go. Look at the squad right there.
You don't know who in the hell you playing with.
Look at the squad right there.
Let's be real crystal clear, mama, because you got the right one in me.
Oh!
Trust me. So if you inside and you watching, and you want to come out and feel froggy, hot, baby, because we won't need HPD to do that's nobody at that point. She's so bold, she gonna make threats. That's because the police have not put her rusty raggedy behind in jail. She has not suffered no consequences. That's the problem why she talks so silly like that.
Nobody checked their ass.
As long as they keep covering
And I got that tip from a news station, so let's be, don't say I made that one up. Go ahead.
Can you clarify? You say you have Rudy's accusations on either video?
I didn't go that far.
Oh, can you clarify
what I
what
said,
you have?
no, what I'm gonna clarify for you is I got it, baby.
What is that?
I got the facts of it. And if I need to, I'll release it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going into further detail than that.
Yeah, do you have a recording? What do you have?
But we got a whole lot recorded. But go ahead, yes.
But other than just what he said and what he told detectives there, is there other evidence that you know of that police don't know about?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, is it?
I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure. But based on what I've been told, I talked with the investigator who worked on Rudy's case for years. She now lives in Alaska. She told me things that she said she reported to HPD over the years. And she wanted HPD to investigate the mother. She told them she thought the mother was involved. She told them of the warning signs and the red flags that she had discovered. They never followed through. So I think she needs to be interviewed in depth because she knows a whole lot. This woman was flying across the country, his mama, raising money to look for Rudy. Really using those trips as vacation trips. All in New York raising money to look for Rudy.
California, yeah.
You understand me?
What say California?
There's a whole lot more to this story.
She went to Cali too.
But that investigator knows a great deal with whom I spoke with. And she is very knowledgeable about a whole lot of this stuff. But I'll let her speak for herself.
Have you
Come
shared
on
these
over.
recordings?
Oh, she got the investigator?
No.
Oh, no, that's...
Why not?
Because
That's
my
family?
attorneys told me that I should not.
Why? I don't.
Because he is a victim of a sexual assault in our opinion and in their opinion. And that I should not, for the sake of his personal privacy.
What's the difference between you describing what's in the tape and you just releasing the tape?
Because that's my right to do so. And I wanted to give, I wanted to, they told me, no, don't do that. I'm following wise legal advice.
Who's your lawyer?
And that's none of your business.
Oh yeah, who's the lawyer?
But Stanley Snyder. But anyway, Stanley Snyder.
Stanley
But
Snyder.
no, told me not to. Yes.
Okay, I'm here. Y'all just asked, was there any other evidence or
How are
anything
you
else any
related
other
to
way?
them?
Just state how you're related.
I'm sorry, my name is Michelle Rodriguez and I'm first cousin to Rudy Farias, Janie's niece. Prior to Rudy's disappearance, his so-called disappearance, his mother had been seen by my late grandma of causing abuse to Rudy, sexually, physically, mentally. This did not just start when Janie reported Rudy missing. It was going on for quite some time before then. And did it start at this house? No. But Janie needs to be brought in. And the police letting her go, the DA letting her go, letting her walk free because they don't have no proof and they say that Rudy there are no sexual assault proof. Y'all not gonna know that. I want to say something, but they're not gonna know that if they didn't take him to go get medically checked. And they refused to do that. And they let her walk. They're not gonna know what the hell she's really done if they didn't bring her in and put pressure on her to talk, which they're allowing her to do because they're covering up for themselves. They're covering up what they knew years ago and they didn't want to come out forward. So the chief of police, the DA, and any other law enforcement that knew about this from back then, y'all are gonna come out. It's all gonna come out. You can't hide. Nothing's gonna be hidden anymore. So whatever you think you can't hide, good luck. It's coming out.
Oficial, en español, te podemos preguntar, ¿están ustedes haciendo una acusación muy grave al departamento de policía diciendo que están ocultando información, de que están ocultando parte del testimonio que dio Rudy? ¿Por qué creen que ocultan esa información?
Porque ayer el chief of police dijo que no había pruebas, que lo que dijo Quanell X que no era cierto, cuando había alguien más adentro que escuchó todo y están diciendo que no oyeron nada, ¿ok? Uno. Dos, están diciendo que no ha pasado nada y que Rudy
Cops are saying nothing happened.
tiene la edad que él puede hacer lo que él quiere.
And that Rudy has the age where he can do whatever he wants.
Janie sí le hizo algo por
Janie
muchos
did do
años,
something to him.
y ellos están diciendo que eso no es un
And they're saying it's
sexual
not true.
assault.
¿Por qué crees que mienten?
Porque no quieren que salga lo que ellos hicieron.
Why they're not
que
saying the
Janie
truth?
sepa, y lo
Because
que
they don't want to
ellos
come out.
hicieron aquí, la investigación que hicieron aquí en esta casa, no salió todo en el reporte como debería.
The investigation that was done didn't come out in the report like it should have.
Sí.
Was CPS involved before you was reported missing?
I don't know. I haven't gone that far to check. But if they were, I'm sure it was just an in and out because
Take
she had
Telemundo out of there.
HPD to back her up. For various reasons, because she has contact with HPD prior to her relationship with Rudy Farias, the HPD officer that committed suicide, who is Rudy's father. She's got other contacts in there,
corrupt
and they
cop.
know that.
What do you know about Rudy's status right now? I'm a little confused. We said
I'll elaborate.
No, he's with a family friend.
Okay.
When police reported that he was safe with family, the initial report that they put he was safe with family, he was never with family. We have it on video who he was with and how he left the hotel. He didn't leave with no family.
The hotel the other day or yesterday?
The hotel the other day. He didn't leave with family. He left with someone else who was a friend of his mother's.
Have you spoken to him since yesterday?
No. Also, let me tell you something I learned that was interesting to me from speaking with the investigator. Rudy's brother died in a motorcycle accident. His brother had an insurance policy. You know who the brother named, according to the investigator, as the inheritor of the policy? His little brother, Rudy.
What the?
Okay? But if Rudy dies, or if Rudy is no longer around and declared dead because he's missing, guess who inherited the money?
Mama.
His mama. When she discovered that, She told HPD to get in contact with her. They did not. There's a whole lot of stuff going on here that needs to be uncovered. Yes, sir.
Can you explain who's here with you today?
We have a couple of neighbors here. Let this neighbor come up. She was attempting to pay neighbors. Let me be clear.
Oh, yes. Yes.
In the last couple of days, she was offering neighbors money to break into the house and destroy evidence. So there was a break-in reported over here. Did y'all know that a few days ago? She was attempting to pay neighbors to break in to take certain things out of the house and get rid of it. Talk about that, brother. And state where you live and who you are.
My name is Adrian Boone. I'm a friend of Rudy's. But I'm going to start off with y'all questions first.
No. Tell what happened.
Tell her what happened.
Okay, so she called me. This is all facts. She called me 2:30 in the morning. I don't be asleep. Ever since this happened, I'm worried because he come in my house to my garage. She offered me $200 along with other friends. I'm not going to mention them because they don't want to be brought up.
No snitching.
Offered us $200 to go in that house and get some stuff for her while she at work. I thought to myself, why you offering me money to go in your house when you was just at home? To break in there. If somebody's in the house or if a neighbor's anybody see I go in the house, I can either get shot or arrested. I never had a background in my life. Never did nothing wrong. So why would I start now? Especially for money. I have my own money. I wouldn't stoop that low.
Why do you think she wanted you to do that?
Come again?
Why do you think she did that?
I mean, what would you think? To hide evidence, have us do stuff for her, keep her hands clean?
And then remember, she's saying break in.
Well,
she doesn't somebody break in her house.
That ain't all she said.
Go ahead, Keisha.
That's not all she said.
Let's go, Keisha.
You heard me. It's okay. Go ahead. Say your name first.
My name is Keisha Ross. I'm the neighbor that discovered that he wasn't missing. She didn't just offer them to go into her house. She offered my cousin $200 to go in back of the house the day all the stuff went down and knock on the window. Dolph, I saw him. He used to carry a gun. So suppose my cousin know too much. So why would you call him the same time you call my son after you hang up with my son and ask him to go in back of the house to wake Rudy up? Because if he's armed, he can get shot too. Because you so-called told me, and it's on video, I'm the one that gave that video of her saying that the reason why she didn't want him to tell nobody who he was or discover who he was because the cartel was supposed to be after him. Then she's making accusation she left because we asked her for money. You offered money. You paid my cousin on Cash App $10 to walk around the corner and tell the neighbor that he don't know anything. You offered us money. You offered me money to say that I was lying, that I was talking to a so-called nephew. Ask your nephew, do he know me? Ask your nephew what's inside my house. Only person that can answer that question is Rudy, because that's who I always let in my house and let in my garage since I've been here, and I've been here since 2022. And I never knew he was missing.
State what crimes we believe she's committed.
Okay, so Dr. Candace Matthews, I'm the National Minister of Politics for the New Black Panther Nation. We've actually done some research in reference to the laws that has been actually broken by Miss Jeannie back here, Rudy's mother. And we find it very interesting that the DA has not picked up any charges whatsoever. Because when you're dealing with this type of situation, when you have someone that is actually then gave allegations that has gave pretty much whistle blew on what has happened to them, law enforcement is supposed to act. And none of that has happened. So what we have is aggravated kidnapping, which is section 2004. A person commits an offense if he intentionally or knowingly abducts another person with the intent to inflict bodily injury on him or violate or abuse him sexually or terrorize him or a third party. So by her having sexual intercourse with her son, then threatening her son, telling him, if you go and say anything, then I'm going to go to prison or you're going to go to jail, that falls under that law. And that's a felony. Next one, we have sexual assault, Texas Penal Code 22011. A person commits an offense if B, a sexual assault under Section A1 is without the consent of the person or other persons if 3, the other person has not consent and the actor knows that other person is unconscious or physically unable to resist. Isn't that what happened with the drugs?
Yes.
Okay, I'll continue. Number 4, the actor knows that as a result of mental disease or deflict, the other person is at the time of the sexual assault incapable either of appraising the nature of the act or resisting of it. And then also part 6, the actor has intentionally impaired the person's power to appraise or control the other person's conduct by administering substance without the other person's knowledge. So we know clearly that was already reported to us through Rudy. Then, Ms. Jeannie, clearly we already know Section 3708, false report to a peace officer, federal special investigator, law enforcement employee, correction officer, or jailer. A person commits an offense if, with intent to deceive, he knowingly makes a false statement that the material to a criminal investigation and makes a statement to a peace officer, federal special investigator conducting the investigation. Then, let's remember we talked about the GoFundMe. That falls also under Texas Penal Code 3103, which falls under theft. A person commits an offense if unlawfully appropriates property with the intent to deprive the owner of property. B, appropriation of property is unlawful if the person is stolen and the actor appropriates the property knowing that it was stolen by another. And that comes out to be a Class A misdemeanor if the value of the property is stolen from $750 to $2,500. So that's a charge right there with the GoFundMe. Then we got another charge. It was also stated about the insurance fraud, correct? So if Rudy was missing for 4 years, then that funds go to the next of kin, which is the mother. So hiding him for 8 years, that falls under this insurance fraud. That falls under 3502, insurance fraud. A person commits an offense if, with intent to defraud or deceive and insure the person in support of claim for payment under the insurance policy. Also, part 1 of 3502, prepares or cause to be prepared a statement that A, the person knows contains false or misleading material, information, and B, is presented to insure, or 2, present or causes to be presented to an insurer a statement that the person knows contains false or misleading material.
What are you doing?
So those are at least 5 charges that she can have right now.
Was it leaving?
She's still in this house. Then let's talk about the police officers with HPD.
Where's this guy going?
Still remains with HPD. And so the families alleged
The lady looked too like, what's wrong with you?
People who she's friends with. Well, if you're watching, let me let you know what charges you about to get when we flush you out.
Oh shit.
1, official oppression. 1, official oppression, which is Section 3903.
Yes.
A public servant acting under the color of his office or employment commits an offense if he, 1, intentionally subjects another to mistreatment or to arrest, detention, search, seizure, disposition, assessment, or lien that he knows that is unlawful, and 2, intentionally denies or impedes another in the exercise or enjoyment of any right, privilege, power, or immunity, knowing his conduct is unlawful. Also, intentionally subjects another to sexual harassment. Isn't that what Janie was doing to her son? Okay. And then also, last but not least, for the ones that's watching this, just know we're gonna flush you out.
Let's go.
3902, abuse of official capacity. A public servant commits an offense if the intent to obtain a benefit or with intent to harm or defraud another, he intentionally is knowingly 1, violates a law relating to the public servant's office or employment. Huh? So these are some serious charges that has been committed. So, Miss Janie, if you're watching, just know the hammer of accountability is coming your way. HPD, And the DA, we know that you running for office. Don't worry, the hammer is coming your way too. Let us don't have these charges on this ma'am that's in this house. You're gonna have a whole problem.
Quanell, can I ask one more? Yes, sir. Broader question. There's been a lot of things said, inaccurate, accusations of lies, second party, third party accusations. Why should we believe you that you are telling?
Let me answer.
I'll answer. The family wants to answer also. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, I'm Pauline Sanchez Rodriguez. I'm the half sister of Janie Santana. I'm going to answer that to you. Okay. Number one, I'm going to get into a little detail. Okay. But first of all, is there's some things that can be answered, and there's some things that are not going to be let out until the right time. Okay. Right now, foremost important, Rudy's the victim, okay? We got to accept his privacy and certain things that he does not want mentioned, okay? We cannot call Mr. X a liar because that he's not, all right? Put it past a few years ago when my mom was alive. I don't mean to bring the subject. My mom rest in peace, and I keep saying that, but I told her I will bring this to an end. Okay, meaning I'm the oldest of the sisters here in Houston. Okay, I didn't tell nobody. I got involved, and I continue to do this until we see her get the help that she needs. Okay, that's all I'm going to say, because she does need help. Janie Santana. Now, when my mom was alive, our mother was alive, she was under my care, under home health. Okay, I'm not going to mention the company I work for. She was in her care. When I would not hear, or our mom would not answer the phone, I got concerned. That's time for me to do a welfare check, okay? Because I work for an agency, and the mom is under the state, and I'm going to come and check. So I come like a state does, without notice. Okay. When that door wasn't open right away, I started thinking. So not once, not twice, it happened numerous of times. Finally, the door would open after 20 minutes. I put a watch on time, okay, because I'm on work duties. So when they finally answered, I got to see our mom. I did a welfare check through the agency. First thing my mom would tell me, Rudy is here. Rudy is here. I said, Mom, are you sure Rudy's here? Rudy is here. He's back there. So I walked around freely. I didn't see Rudy. You know why? Because that gave them enough time, or Janie Santana enough time, to get him to the damn back door and go into the woods. Okay?
And lots of times she always kept his bedroom door locked.
Locked. And nobody could go in there. Right. Because I even tried to open the door. She said, what you doing in there? I'm trying to check and see, make sure that this house is clean. Half of the damn time my mom was dirty. I hate to say that. Okay, filthy. And burning herself because nobody was taking care of her. So tell me if I don't have a right to come in here and do a welfare check. I did. Okay, then I would call my family.
I'd yank my mom
but
out of
every
that
time my mom would say, he is here, Janie Santana would come out. She's hallucinating. She's on medication. She doesn't know what she's saying. Okay? So, what are you supposed to do? I have to expect her privacy. It's her house, right? So I go about my way and I put my little notes in my system. Okay? At work. As long as I did my job, I'm okay. It kept on, it lingered on, and it lingered on, and I kept telling everybody, I says, Janie is hiding Rudy. And I have to believe what my mom would tell us. Okay? I had to believe that because moms don't lie. Okay?
How about that?
And what stupid ass mom, excuse my French, is going to do that to her own child? As mad as you are, that's one thing that nobody should downgrade themselves. So this man right here, Mr. X, when I physically, and I'm not the type that I don't give up. DA, HPD, everybody. I physically went yesterday because I'm not the one to give up. First, my son went in there to see him. He doesn't want to be on camera. Okay? He's one of my firstborn triplets. He got there. Then finally, my nephew agreed to see me, thanks to Grizzy. Okay? Grizzy's the number one. If it hadn't been for her, we wouldn't have come this far. This far, and have Mr. X here. The only thing, as soon as I hugged my nephew yesterday, we started in tears. And I know him already from him growing up. He went to a Catholic school. Am I right, Linda? He's not one to lie, because they don't teach you that. And he was raised up by my grandma being through him since he was a baby. He wasn't raised to lie. When I contact him and I more or less told him what Janie Santana did to you, you're going to be okay. So he more or less knew what I meant. You know, we cried, we shed tears. It's like telling me, yes, absolutely. You know, when Quanell, did I say Quanell X talked to him? He said, is that going on? He nodded his head. He wasn't going to say it out loud. So do you expect me to call this man a liar? Hell no. HPD and the DA better get their shit together. All right? I'm sorry to say these words, but I'm a type of person like my daughter here. I'm going to speak the way it is. All right? So anybody, for your answer, it has to be answered. He will, what do you say?
The best answer that you could have got, she just gave it to you.
Do you have a copy of his life insurance policy and would you be able to release it?
I don't have it. I believe that the investigator has it.
Once again, my name is Pauline Sanchez. I don't have it's like I said, I can tell when people are lying. I've been there. I've done that. Not what's happening here, of course, you know. But I left home at 12 years old for certain reasons from Janie's father, abusing me. And it runs in the family because he sexually abused me. Okay? I shouldn't have said this out loud because it's been a long time. So it runs in the damn family. Her uncle, I'm not going to mention names.
Say the name.
He tried to do that too. Okay?
What is that?
Okay? I'm tired of this, and this has to stop somewhere. Rudy needs help.
Thank you.
Pauline, ¿te puedo hacer una pregunta? Pauline?
Yeah.
¿En Spanish? Could be?
Yeah.
¿Van a tomar acciones legales contra el Departamento de Policía?
Are we going to take legal actions again? No. Why? But the truth is going to come out.
What it is, if Janie is charged like she should be, then Rudy has the right to choose what family he wants to be with.
Right.
Because he's an
That's
adult.
not what he asked. He said we're going to take
I don't
charges.
know your
from
question. I
the
didn't hear
He
your
wants
question.
to know we're going to take charges against HPD if they find
What
it.
was your question? Because I don't speak
you are
Spanish. I'm
making a
sorry.
very serious accusation against the HPD, the police department. Will you take any legal action against them?
I don't plan to at this time, but I want to see what they're going to do in a couple of days. I want to see how this is going to play out.
So in a couple of days, if they don't...
I want to see how this is going to play out. But before suit, I'd file a complaint with IED first. I would file an Internal Affairs Division complaint first before thinking about any legal action against them. I'd file that complaint. The bottom line is, I want to see what they're going to do. There's too much here. There's too much here. The family goes and get a chance to finally see Rudy, and he tells them what I'm saying is true.
Oh, hammer. I just
Damn,
she got
what
a
more
hammer.
do you want, HPD?
Is that a hammer? Thor hammer?
What more do you want?
Oh, shit.
Let's all pray for Rudy. Let every single one of us pray for Rudy. And you see how whenever Rudy is not in the presence of his mother, he opens up and he talks.
Sure do.
And tells the truth about what happened to him. We thank you for your presence. Thank you for being here. May God bless you all. Please pray for Rudy. Assalamu alaikum.
Amen. Thank you, guys. This is hard, but...
The hammer.
I'm visiting him
The SpongeBob ice pop. I don't know which one, the Bomb Pop or the SpongeBob. I think I want the SpongeBob right now. Little bubblegum eyeballs. Hammer of Truth. She said it's coming down on HPD. Wow, we got armed security. That's Grizzly right there, right? Grizzly. Oh. What he said? Don't download Dirty Cop. The download Dirty Cop. Dirty. Download Cop. Piece of shit. Download Dirty. Oh, we're coming for you. Can I rewind it? I don't even know what to say. I really don't know what to say after all that. What the heck? I gotta wait for them to end it so I can rewind. I don't even know what to say. Download Dirty Cop. And he was talking about, like, because I guess she's in the house. I don't know if she's in the house or not. Janie got 2 guns. Janie's got a gun. She got 2 guns. He's claiming that he got a call or report from the news station that she said, I don't know, like something, there could be trouble if you guys show up here at my place. Bro came with armed security and shit. Armed security, geared up. That boy snapped. I didn't think he was going to go that hard today, though. I thought because the family seems like they're kind of taking, like, instead of, like, going really hard at her, they're just like, oh, well, she needs help. Well, let's get her help. And that could be because of Rudy. Maybe because who knows what mom's been telling Rudy all these years. Maybe mommy's been telling Rudy these people are evil and they're coming for, so maybe they don't want to come out too aggressive. Rudy's got to be watching. Jeannie's got to be watching. Holy, yeah, he said if you're feeling froggy, Tip Talks, jump. Wow, I don't know what to believe anymore. So he said, I'm kind of taking this conversation happened. And then they bring out the folder. They say Grizzly should go live too. I wonder what she has to think about, what she thinks about this. And Grizzly got a lot of shout outs. That was nice. Even from the family. And her feed, it looks, maybe she had connection issues. She streamed for 4 minutes. I wonder what happened. Or am I missing it? I don't think she was able to be live the whole time. Something happened, I think. A 4 minute stream. Something happened. I don't know what happened. Thankfully, we had this backup stream that we could watch. So, by the way, the audio on this video was out of sync. I know we had sync issues before. It wasn't me this time. The stream was just out of sync. That particular stream we were watching. And there's like no other feed. Which is interesting that the news is like, F it. They showed up, but they're kind of like, they weren't streaming this like they were streaming the police press conference. I don't know. The media's kind of in with the police, and they're kind of like, I don't know. Maybe they're not too happy with Quanell. They were kind of pushing him and pressing him a little bit. Melissa B says, praying for Rudy will be okay after all the craziness. Thank you, man. No, thank you. Thank you guys for being here. Rudy, he's with a family friend. Okay, I think I should be able to stream it now. Janie's got a gun. For the new people, if there's any new people that don't know the story, I have a couple of streams talking about this whole thing. I have a playlist too. You should just check out my channel and check out. I just want to.
Damn cop was right. She had convinced him that the police had warrants out for his arrest because he had ran away.
Now it's a little bit in sync.
And she told him,
Blue, thank you for the gift.
Because you ran away and they were looking for you and they spent resources looking for you, that you have a warrant for your arrest. And if they catch you, you're going to jail. She had convinced the young man to wear an assumed name because he thought he was in trouble for running away. Rudy also said to us, me and the detective, on more than one occasion, he put his head down in tears right before he began.
Oh, and somebody said there was family or something on News Nation.
To talk about
I mean, we saw the old
him
one,
playing daddy at her request, and he got to be the husband. He has to be the husband, is what he said. He said, I don't want my mama to go to prison. I don't want my mama to go to jail. On yesterday, when the question was asked, was there a sexual relationship? the sergeant lied in his response. And then the next question was there a sexual relation between the mother and her son? They refused to answer that question and said he's a victim and we protect all sexual assault victims. See, they know what I'm saying is the truth.
Shit.
That dirty, low-down damn cop was right there with me when Rudy said everything that he said.
That down low, dirty cop. Yo, he snapped. And you know, the media, they're not going to play this kind of shit anyway. They put these little small little bullshit clips together. They couldn't even edit that other video properly that we watched. They did a nice sit down. News Nation got some clips in there. But the media, like, we need, this is why it's important to have, like, this type of shit. Because the media with their clips and shit, we can't really hear. It's so annoying. You would think by now, that's why people like Joe Rogan are, like, popping off and shit. Because the media is still doing archaic, old shit. That's outdated as fuck. But I get that they're on TV and they got to get these ads in, and they have very tight time constraints, but they also have YouTube and Facebook and all these media. Post your shit on there. I don't get it why they don't post that there sometimes. They do sometimes, some depending on what channel. They're so outdated. You see how WFLA has adapted JB Bruno, how they've taken on almost like YouTubers type of shit, because that's what people want, the actual audience engagement. So that's why WFLA, like, they're kind of taking off with that shit. JB, they're engaging and, like, having longer form content, you know? Quanell snapped. What do you guys want to do? Yeah, so what's next, right? So what happens? I don't know. See, my thing is, like, are the cops going to fire back now? Are they going to respond to this? Or are they just going to stay quiet? They could be working on things behind the scenes. They could be investigating. This story is a rabbit hole. Flossie, like, literally, before I even started looking at some things, Flossie had like a whole day where she was just gathering a bunch of information. I mean, this woman is a liar, manipulator, from the fake cancer stuff to the GoFundMe shit to the Rudy's older brother dying in a motorcycle accident. Then his I forgot which one's first. His I think it was the older brother, then the uncle dying, his uncle dying in a motorcycle accident, then his biological father killing himself, a corrupt cop. To supposedly, I heard yesterday too that she was with some other cop too. I don't know who. So they're calling her a badge bunny, bounced around the cops. That's what they're saying. Maybe she has HPD connections. To the whole thing where the older brother that died in a motorcycle accident, before he died, had a life insurance policy. And the beneficiary was Rudy, his younger sibling. In case I die, I'm going to... How old was this guy? He wasn't that much older than Rudy, right? Was he? How old was he? In case I die. Who does that at that age too? Anyway, that young. I forgot how old... I don't know how old the... In case I die, and then the guy dies. You're the beneficiary. Oh, and if Rudy's not around to get it, well, there's mama. Scammer mama, right? Woo! And where's all the victim advocate people, right? The people that are always like, we got to believe the victim and stuff. These people, they have the most questions, right? And the most doubt. The people just believe them type of shit. They're the ones with the most doubt and questions. The fuck is up with that? I mean, we should ask questions, but they're the ones with the most doubt and questions. And where's all the media and all this stuff? I mean, this story really has had a lot of attention, so I can't really say where's all the media. But I mean, in terms of getting this side of, it's like they just take what the cops said and ran with it, but there's like a whole nother supposed side to it, and they're just kind of like radio silent. Well, somewhat. Some of them, very few people like News Nation and Fox 26, which is, they work with Quanell. Rudy's 25 now. He was 17 when he went missing, but he was in the house the entire time. The fuck? Eric says, please stay off our lawn. Justice will take some time. Well, yeah, that could cause problems if they're actually like on the property. They were on her property though, right? What's that part too? He was talking about if you got, don't worry, we got guns too. I mean, he didn't say that. I'm paraphrasing, kind of like, not really paraphrasing.
Just go back and look at the press conference. Why didn't you say from what we know there was no sexual relationship? You so freely saying that.
The cops are gonna have to go into the Facebook group to get information to collect shit. I mean, I'm sure they'll do search warrant or subpoenas and stuff, but they're gonna have to get any kind of sense of what the hell is going on. And even the fact that GoFundMe publicly said they shut this shit down, she got at least $2,000 from that. I don't know what other funds. And that's the thing. I gotta find that article about the private investigator. Oh yeah, we got to get to this. We got to get to this. I was side eyeing the private investigators at first because I was like, yo, all these years. Now we're just hearing something, but according to Quanell, they've supposedly reported stuff to HPD. Maybe that's another reason for them not to kind of just walk away from this. I don't know. The mother thing is very weird to me too. I guess the type of job that this family member has, it's in maybe social work or something. I don't know. A welfare check, bro. If this is my mother, fuck, I have the keys to that place. One, I have the keys to my mother's place. I'm not fucking knocking to go over there. But I guess this mother was staying with the insane sister. Why is mom staying with this nut job in the first place? But I have the keys to that. I don't even fucking knock. I turn the key. I walk in. I have the code to the alarm. It's not a question of I don't know, mom's being abused and the kid being abused. All right, ma, well, I'm not saying that's what happened, but bro, that's not even fly. It's not even legal, illegal. What you're not, you know what I'm saying? That's weird. So they got a lot of trouble and trauma, and she said too that Janie's father had abused her as well. So this is probably got to be really resonating and kind of frustrating and angering the family. Now that they're seeing Rudy with these allegations coming out, I do question how much proof. How can they prove this? How can they? It's just a tough thing. And they're kind of saying they're trying to get the time frame. He went missing March 6th, I think, 2015, which he was 17 at the time. Was he being abused before then, or during or after? Anyway, let's take a look at this article. Inside Rudy Farias' Houston home, private investigators found padlocks, a suspicious letter, and no dogs. Padlocks? That's kind of like a red flag for somebody that's missing. I'm walking in this place. I'm a private investigator. There's fucking I should stop cursing. I should calm it down with the girl. I'm sorry. I'm a little amped. Padlocks in this thing? It was a compelling detail from the missing person saga of Rudy Farias. The teenager had left his Northeast Houston home in March 2015 to walk his two dogs, which is amazing. The story is he's walking his two dogs and there's no dogs in the house. Amazing, right? And while the dogs soon wandered home, Farias vanished for 8 years, only to reappear last week. The miracle that God gave us. Now, as this account unravels, volunteer private investigators who worked the original missing persons case throughout its first 2 years are wondering if anything they were told by Farias' mother was true, even the part about the dogs. I've seen some cats. People, and the PETA people, the animal people, they're wondering about these cats. They saw some cats outside. Is the cats being fed? Somebody needs to investigate the cats. On Thursday, Houston police confirmed that Farias had returned home the very next day after the mom reported him missing and had remained there all along. Like much of Mom Janie Santana's story, Rudy's dogs may also be fictitious, to Private Eyes told Insider, which they had said that there were up to at least, I think I heard 4 private investigators that had worked on this case over the years. Where were those dogs? Licensed Texas investigator Martin Renteria wondered in a phone call on Thursday. Janie could not produce the dogs. She said she didn't know where the dogs were. We had no cooperation that there were ever dogs. It was the most unusual case we ever worked. Trying to find Rudy Ada Renteria, a retired Port of Los Angeles police officer who worked the Farias case with his wife, Barbara Renteria, who is also a PI. The two run the Checkmate Investigative Field Services Agency out of Spring, Texas. As it stands now, what we suspected is apparently coming out true, the husband said. All the leads we were given came from Janie. Therefore, those leads we have to consider to be false. Flossie, if you're watching, or can somebody send me that whole home health is, I guess. Okay. Can somebody send me the little screenshot? Somebody sent to me the other day, the whole Mexico story she came up with. I think Sarah sent it to me. Because you got to hear this shit. Here it is. Never mind. I'm good. I got it. Legacy posted this. In an off-camera interview, Fox 26 spoke with Rudy Farias' mother on Wednesday. She said Rudy was kidnapped and taken to Mexico with a bag over his head 8 years ago. The mother added, Rudy walked back home to Houston following the moon to go north. Amazing. What? What? Rudy Farias' home had padlocks on some doors. The home where Farias allegedly remained for all those 8 years is a little beige ranch, a 3-bedroom built in 1975, and it's worth about $175,000. In the 2 years of their probe, we've been to that house more times than you have fingers, Barbara Renteria said. Much about the home never sat well, she said. There were padlocks on the doors in the hallway, she said, and she would never let us speak to her mother. So the mom was there. So people that haven't been watching, okay, the mom, grandma, right? The mother of the mother and the sisters, whatever. She was living in this house with Janie, the psychopath, for 14 something years. And so when this kid went missing, Rudy, the mother was there, which in this conference, it seems like grandma was saying that there was abuse happening or something like that. And they were trying to get the mother out of that house legally. There was this whole weird legal thing because the mother ended up getting sick. She had to go to the hospital. She was in hospice. So it was this kind of drama between the family. And so she would never let us speak to her mother. So grandma was there. She said a reference to Rosa Sosa Rodriguez, who lived there at the time, who records show she died in 2020. Okay. The letter in Rudy's room. We went to his bedroom to look for clues, Barbara Renteria continued. We do this with all missing children. The teen's schoolwork was there in his distinctive printed handwriting, she said. But I found a letter that was a letter from Rudy to his mother written in cursive, she said, and we took it and compared it to other pieces of Janie's handwriting and realized she wrote it. She added it matched her handwriting perfectly. In the supposed Dear Mom letter, Farias, or whoever penned it, explained that he'd run away on purpose. That letter and the stormed off scenario was never passed along to authorities, Renteria said. Instead, the mother went to a more sympathetic claim that her son simply vanished into thin air, possibly at the hands of Mexican traffickers. Rudy's so-called abduction. We asked Janie for permission to search the house, to search his room. Martin said we did just that. She'd let us go in there. In the first few weeks of the case, Barbara agreed, and she had his cell phone that supposedly was found by a witness that saw the struggle between Rudy and a gang of kids. The cell phone was crushed, she said. Santana hosted a fundraiser around the supposed abduction scenario. The private investigators said, and the abduction witness, a teenage girl, spoke at the event. Yo, she even spoke at the event? Did a girl actually speak at the event, or she made this up? And the abduction witness, a teenage girl, spoke at the event. And she couldn't hold the story together. Barbara Renteria said of the girl, so she just walked away. This was someone who Janie had forced into talking to us. Wow. And if you haven't seen this, I know there's a lot. This story is just really, really hard to follow because it's just a mess. I mean, you can read some articles and get somewhat of a gist. But the first live stream, we went down the mess and the rabbit hole. I have the whole kidnapping thing. I'll just briefly show it real quick. I have a folder with folders in it that has other folders. Alleged kidnapping. Multiple fake accounts, catfishing chick. Actually, a little girl at the time recognized this flyer at a Fiesta grocery store and told her mom that she pointed to Rudy's flyer, that this is the boy who saved my life. According to her statement, she had been abducted by 3 males and took her to a field where they were assaulting her. When Rudy may have heard her screams for help, she stated to investigators that she remembers seeing him walking his dogs, the imaginary dogs, and he witnessed what was happening and he intervened and told her to run and not look back. But at the time she took investigators to the scene, there was no sign of Rudy, just his inhaler and his wallet. She told investigators he was going to be sold for human trafficking, so she believes they are who took him. Who's this girl covering for the story? Did she pay her? Did she pay her $10? All right, urine on the couch. By 2020, the little ranch where Farias may have been hidden in plain sight had fallen into disrepair, according to allegations made during a 2020 Harris County, Texas probate court battle over whether it was unsafe for his grandmother, then 85, to live there, which we talked about that yesterday. We went over the court documents. Santana was fighting to become guardian of her mother, Farias's grandmother. An opposing petition was filed by Santana's half-sister, which maybe that's why, half-sister? But it's the same mother though, probably different fathers, right? I think it was different fathers. Because I believe Sylvia said it was the stepfather. It was Janie's father, which was, I think, her stepfather. So Sylvia, with whom the elderly woman was by then living, Farias' aunt Sylvia had this to say about Santana's little beige ranch, which she described as not a clean, safe, or habitable residence. Habitable. We did this yesterday. Text from a guardianship petition for Farias' grandmother describes animal urine and feces throughout Janie Santana's house. I don't even think, did we read that yesterday? It's not clean. Oh, okay. The home had animal urine and feces throughout the house. I don't even remember reading that yesterday. Proposed ward did not have a bed and slept on a couch, which smelled of urine. At the time of the proposed ward, last went into the hospital. She had significant bed sores. Bro, I can't imagine like having my mother like that. Oh Lord. Habitable. Okay. I just can't, bro. She had significant bed sores that had gone untreated. And I thought there was allegations too that the will was forged, right? Wasn't that one of the allegations the family made? The will was forged. And the will was left to Janie and Rudy. Text from a guardianship petition for Farias' grandmother says his grandmother sustained bed sores from sleeping on a couch. While in the Santana home, the grandmother slept on the couch, which smelled of urine. The papers alleged the home had animal urine and feces throughout the house. The papers also alleged maybe Farias' dogs did come home after all. The grandmother passed away months after the court filing while still living with Sanchez Lopez. So Sylvia did get the mother out of there at some point. But I think from the hospital. At some point, I guess they must have just stepped in. Even though there was court documents, I think that Janie had rights. So at some point they did say like, F this ished, or I guess. And then the case was dropped because the mother had passed away. And before the guardianship could be resolved, by Thursday, Santana had been questioned but not charged by Houston police, so we know all this already. Private investigators wondered if Janie Santana killed Rudy. Damn. At one point, we wondered that perhaps Janie had killed her own son and buried him somewhere. Martin remembered on Thursday of the darkest days of their investigation. I honestly thought she killed the boy, Barbara said. I really did. And we did form the opinion that perhaps Janie is hiding him out somewhere. At one point, the couple was so intent to learn what was going on, they briefly tried to follow Santana. Wow. So the private investigators that I guess this lady hired, they started investigating the person that made the claims. Any clue that was ever brought forward to us came from Janie herself, which was extremely, extremely odd, Martin said. It's out of the norm because usually we receive clues from other types of persons, phone calls, or messages. So Janie over here providing all the tips, all the leads, all the information. But no, everything came from Janie herself. He set up Santana's string of false leads, all of which ultimately led to a dead end, including 2 tips that Farias was in the clutches of Mexican traffickers. Houston police, with whom the Renterias were in contact with, appeared to find the case odd too. The couple said a police spokesperson did not respond to a request for comment from Insider, but said Thursday during a press conference that Santana continued to deceive officers after Rudy returned. Ultimately, there was never any concrete evidence of wrongdoing, and Farias, it turned out, had been 18 when he went missing, not 17. What? As Santana had first claimed to authorities. So he was actually 18. Because she posted 2 flyers, and one said 17, one said 18. In the end, he was an adult, he said. Sometimes adults make their own decisions, and if they want to remain lost, they remain lost. Oh, and they were working pro bono. And since we were working pro bono, he added, and given so many false leads, after 2 years, we couldn't spend too much more time on it. Okay. They were working pro bono. Wow. House of Horrors. Wow. Holy crap, this is just a really crazy story. Okay, so Grizzy said that she's going to post the rest of the news conference shortly. She had to record. I'm thinking maybe she had bad signal or something, probably. I don't know. Or something happened. Let's see what else. Is there anything else? This dude was snapping. So I don't know what's next. I think the next thing would have to be like if police responds. What the hell? Oh. So this comment, they think this is the mom posting this. The second comment, so sickening, especially knowing damn well it's mom acting like him. 4:22 p.m. marks the time brother gave his last breath. So this is a Facebook post where they believe the mother's posting as the son, Rudy, talking about his brother that passed away in a motorcycle accident. I guess 4:22 p.m. marks the time brother gave his last breath. He passed away at the exact time he came into this earth. 4:22 p.m. R.I.P. brother. Mommy and I will never forget you. And then Janie replying, yes, he was and still is. He had such a huge heart and he was always helping everyone. That is who he was. And replying back, thank you, Miss, or just leaving a comment. Thank you, Miss Laura. Losing brother has made me grow up fast. I had to step up and be the man of the house. Oh boy. After brother left us, miss you guys. I'm sure today was and still is difficult. I pray you were surrounded by family and friends on this day. I wish I could have been there for you and the Rudster, though I was in spirit. Jamie said, I remember that well, LOL. We had to use tweezers to get the toilet paper out. It took forever. I don't know. Bro, this shit is draining too, man. This shit is draining. Did the mom call Quanell or Grizzy gave Q the number to mom? I don't know. I think Grizzy gave the number I think he said Grizzy put them in contact. I don't think Quanell said he wouldn't have known about this if it wasn't for Grizzy. I thought he said. I'm not sure. I feel drained too. I don't know why. This thing is just these people too like this. They're draining, man. You can't to have somebody like this in your life. They are draining. They got stories forever. I just stopped listening. I can't do this shit. Let's see. Hello. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, I should not have addressed the beginning. Okay. What was this? Oh, 2019. Wait, what do I use all these messages? Admin. So Alexis Santana was admin in one of the groups. Lord Almighty. Well, some group. Oh, this is the Malia Davis thing. So go crazy out for the people that follow me with the Malia Davis thing. Flossie was telling me about this. You know, apparently this woman, Alexis Santana, was following the Malia Davis case and in a group. What's my Texas people out there that know this story? I'm going to show you this. Isn't that crazy? Kachava. Yeah, it might put me to sleep. Malia Davis, our Texas daughter. Alexis Santana. I knew this was just a matter of time. QX, you can't keep doing this to these families. What? And the same woman had hit up Quanell, and Quanell says that she hit him up thinking that he was going to lie for her. Isn't that crazy? You don't know the Malia Davis story? Oh, that's a deep story for Texas. Deep story. That was kind of a deep story for me too. Very crazy story. That was just nuts at the time. All right, let me see what else. Okay, so this is in reference to that group. Or I think, I don't know. Okay, good afternoon. All right, so let's see. Alexis Santana posted this. Something else. This is 2019. This is Rudy's mother. Good afternoon, members. I need to address an issue here today, which I should not have to address to begin with, period. This is in response to an earlier post yesterday, which I approved from my sister, Bella Ninos, which is herself. She asked if she could post a link to my other group on here, and I gave the okay. Latinos United is a group I created myself. Never in a million years did I expect to grow over 500 members, Lord Almighty, in 3 weeks. Some of you may or may not know, but I have been through hell beginning in 2007 when my husband, who was a Harris County Sheriff's deputy, was killed right in front of me, which this is a complete lie. I need the other article. If I can find it. I sent this thing to Silvio earlier. Let's see if they have the article here. Let me send it to myself real quick. Too much information. I'm not going to read the whole thing because I already mentioned this story multiple times, but I'm just going to reference one part in this article to show that this shit is a lie. So she's saying Rudy's dad died in her arms. Oh wait, doesn't it? Was not in this article? Oh, this is not the article. Well, there was one article that said he died in his patrol vehicle. He killed himself in his patrol vehicle. It wasn't this one. Rudy Farias. Cop. I was going to show it, but. Okay, here we go. I found one. Found a different source. That works. Oh, this is the other thing I wanted to. When I saw this shit, one real quick offset. Voting records show that Farias voted 3 times since he was reported missing. And the first thought that came to my head, to be straight up honest with you, one, I thought, did he really vote? Maybe he did. Or 2, I thought, were those Biden votes that went in for Biden? When that whole thing happened with the voting shit, was his name used and shit? I don't know. Let me see what that part is too, where the. Wow, this is a long ass article. I'm just trying to find the thing with his dad. Okay, here we go. Rudy Farias, a 21-year police veteran, shot himself in his police vehicle while still in uniform, just hours after he and 3 other officers ordered him to turn in their badges. Okay, so he killed himself in his patrol vehicle. But she has this story of dying in his arms. Killed right in front of me by a drunk driver while we did what we enjoyed doing and was riding our motorcycles. When my husband, who was a Harris County Sheriff Office, was killed right in front of me by a drunk driver. Why is she saying drunk driver? There was one I heard where she said he died in her arms. This is the first time I hear this about the guy being killed by a drunk driver in front of her. While we did what we enjoyed, and that was riding our motorcycles. I was right behind him when he was struck, and I fought for both of us to keep him alive, but we lost that battle, and it was his time to go. This amazing man who got up every morning to protect his city died in my arms. There we go. Died in my arms. He left me alone to raise 2 sons. So yes, I took that hard. And in 2011, my son wanted to protect his country. At the age of 21 years old, when he joined the United States Marine Corps, he too was killed, and he died in my arms. So wow, what a story, right? What a story. The father dies in her arms, and her other son dies in her arms. She just happens to be there both times, right? As he gave his last breath, while I screamed and pleaded with God to take me instead. Did I deal with it? Hell no. In 2015, my youngest son's father, HPD HPD offers committed suicide, leaving behind his wife and other children. Oh, so she's talking about the uncle here then. Huh? Wait. When my husband. So she had another husband that was killed or what? But I have been through hell beginning 2007 when my husband, who was a Harris County Sheriff's Office, was killed in front of me. Who's that guy? Who are they talking about right there? I feel like we need to get the timeline out. Now I'm confused. Is this the other cop she was with? Timeline. Timeline. So 2011 was the brother, Rudy's older brother. But in 2011, she's saying, okay, 2007, my husband, who was a Harris County Sheriff's Officer. This is even before then. So who is this other person she's talking about? Husband number 2 out of 5? What the hell? Because we got the older brother that passed away 2011 by a motorcycle accident. Then we got 2014, Rudy's father passed away for the self-inflicted gunshot wound. Then we got April 26, 2017, Jerry Santana, which is Rudy's uncle, which is Janie's brother, passed away due to a motorcycle accident. So who the hell is the other person now? 2007 was another one of her husbands? I can't. Bro, this is too much. So now we got another person to add to the list. This just not even in the timeline. I didn't make this timeline. This is not even in the timeline. We got to upgrade the timeline. Okay, hold on. Susanna. How you doing, Susanna? Send me some information. The filing cities documents demonstrating that Santana married Patrick Rocha in July 1997. Who the hell is that? Okay, wait. And then John P. Gonzalez in August 1998. Who the hell is that? That same August, she petitioned the Harris County judge to have the marriage to Gonzalez annulled on the basis that she was already married to Patrick Rocha, according to Guerrero's suit. He claimed Santana filed a probate motion in July 2007, arguing that she was the common law wife of another man. John T. Rodriguez. Who the hell is that? A sheriff. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, so John T. Rodriguez, a sheriff deputy and a 23-year veteran who recently died. So that must be Rudy's father. And I forget why. Why is there two names? Is that Rudy's father, right? Why is there two names for Rudy's father? Jesus Christ. He claimed Santana filed a probate motion in July 2007, arguing that she was the common law wife of another man, John T. Rodriguez, a sheriff deputy and a 23-year law enforcement veteran who recently died. Guerrero also links his ex to Roberto Larios, citing a divorce petition filed by Santana as proof that she and Larios were common law married from 1999 to 2010. Finally, he claimed Santana married Circe Amori Diaz in 2009, and Diaz indicated that in December 2012 deposition that he was still married to Santana. Okay, so she's saying that's the deputy that she claimed died in her arms. So this other guy, John T. Rodriguez, is the deputy she's claiming. So she was with two 20-year plus veteran deputies? That's the Badge Bunny thing? Oh. I can't. This is something like for the ladies to put together, because this is too much. I can't follow all this bullshit. I tune out. Like after like 1 or 2, 3, like I tune out. Okay, so we got this situation in 2007. Correct. And Farias never married her. She was a side piece. Okay. So the 2007 thing where this guy dies in her arms because of a drunk driver kills him, and it's and another apparent motorcycle thing. Then he left me alone to raise my 2 sons. I took heart in 2011. My son wanted to protect his country at the age of 21. When he joined the United States Marine Corps, he too was killed and died in my arms as well. As his last breath while I screamed. He gave his last breath while I screamed and pleaded with God to take me instead. Should have. Did I deal with it? Hell no. In 2015, my youngest son's father, HPD officer, committed suicide, leaving behind his wife and other children to my youngest and last son. And my youngest and last son disappeared while he walked his 2 pups after school. His wallet and his inhaler were found in an empty field not far from the home, which turns out it wasn't even his wallet and his inhaler or his backpack, I don't think. Whew. Okay. And then the other part to this, I don't even know where I'm at anymore because I'm lost. What the hell were we looking at? Okay, here. It's the second part to this post. Oh, I screwed up. I'm done after this, bro. Done for the day. Even if today's Friday, we really need a Chase. Chase would be nice. Chases are dead, though. They're done again. So his wallet and his inhaler were found in an empty field not far from home. I was hurt. Hell yes. I was absolutely hurt, angry, numb, and pissed at the world. They were my world, and just like that, they were gone. I pray none of you ever experienced my pain and my hell, but I coped the best way I could, and that was with laughter. This past Mother's Day and my birthday, I was home alone, just with their memories, and so I created the other group in question. I will not apologize for it. That group is an innocent group of people coming together, sharing funny memes along with some jokes. That is how I dealt with my grief, and I continue to do so. And again, I will not apologize for it. How dare any of you judge me for my decision in my group? Until you have walked in my shoes, then by all means judge me. But until then, shut it. If you do not like the way I run my page, then by all means see yourselves out. I created this page because I care about this little girl. Oh my God. Whom we all have come to love as Malia. That is so crazy how this kind of somehow circles or like comes to Malia that I'm telling you, this is like this Texas shit that runs deep. I wonder if Grizzly has seen this. This is wild. It hit close to home for me, and I also created this page to share updates on my own son's case of his disappearance. So with that said / typed, if you do not agree with that, with the way I run my page, please feel free to exit this group. No one is making you stay in the group. It's not about how many members I have. I could care less, even though you were just flexing 500 about numbers, but rather how many members. Or maybe she was being thankful. I don't know. Friends and family are truly here because you care about this beautiful baby girl and my son. So when you think about it, this psycho inserted herself with Malia Davis and inserts her sons and this in lies and this cockamamie story, and also inserted her in this other missing persons case, the one we just looked at on Twitter with this other family. That I couldn't even get into because it was so much. I have never even heard of this other case. So this person has a history of inserting themselves into these different cases. Little chameleon, reptile, snake. That's the thing, is like when these type of things, you have to look at all these little pieces. And I can see how some people got to be frustrated to be like screaming at the top of their lungs, and people are like, no, but I'm with Janie. I side with Janie. Or like the whole lady bringing food to this psychopath. I brought pizza and Subway and chips. They banned her ass out of the group. Ginger, what happened to Ginger, man? Ginger might have just been trying to be nice, though. I don't know. But Ginger was trying to say, too, like, she befriended Janie. So, I don't know, man. Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. She flexed 700. I thought it was 500. I guess it's not bad, I guess. Having that many members, but. There's a bomb squad out here in LA on the freeway. What happened? Bomb threat, I guess. I think we did good. I think I'm gonna get the whatever super chats or memberships post. I think we did good enough for today. We're already at 2 hours and 20 minutes. Let me just catch some of these. Miss Capricorn Strickland, thank you for the membership. Texas girl, thank you. I got Laura Wade. Melissa B, thank you for the 2-month membership. Says, thank you, Mel, for everything. I love your show. Becky Blaze, I'm in H-Town. Oh, H-Town, thank you for covering Mel. Crazy. Thank you, Becky. 4 months. Hey, Texas girl, thank you for the super chat. Says, thank you for covering this case. Thank you. Sunshine and Tan Lines, thank you for the 5-month membership. Says, hi, Mel and chat. Have a nice weekend. Dr. Pamela, thank you for the membership. Connie S, thank you. Laura Wade, thank you for the super chat. Says, I'm just wondering, did Rudy ask Quanell to stay with him because of trust issues with mom drilled into him about being arrested? If his story is true, it would explain his trust in Q versus cops. True. It's interesting that the mother reached out to him, though. She thought she was going to be able to get him on her side. Skylove80, thank you for the super chat. Who is Grizzy? Bring Quanell on the show. I don't really think Quanell likes me particularly. He might not even know about me, but he might have seen my stuff back in the day with Malia Davis. During that Malia Davis thing, I was going really hard. I said things that I probably wouldn't say anymore. I was just really frustrated and pissed off, and it was kind of still my new. You just get frustrated sometimes with these cases, so I was fucking snapping at everybody. It was just. I think I took some videos down. It was a lot. So I would definitely probably do things differently now. I mean, had it now versus back then, I do it differently. But so yeah, I don't probably. I actually did. I messaged. I don't even know if you ever got it. I don't know if it was an email or something, but let me see what else. Also, Grizzy. So I put her in the description of this live stream. I'll put it in the chat as well. Grizzly Hood News is a local to Texas. She has a good page, really good page. Check her out. She's a local. She's putting in work. Independent. On Facebook, Grizzly's Hood News. So the link is there if you want to check her out. She has almost 600,000 followers. So you can check her out there. All right, let me see what else we got. Oh, blocking. Okay. Nicole, thank you for the membership. Cherry and Max, thank you for the super chat. Says, can I get Cliff Notes because I'm so lost? I've kind of been given some of them. If you've been, I know you sent that an hour ago, so hopefully you got some of what I've been reading on the article. Hello? Okay. Crime Solver, thank you for the super chat. Says she's making me feel guilty and I haven't even done anything wrong. She's talking about the. So is that Quanell's? Somebody says Quanell's new girlfriend. I don't know if that's true. Is that Quanell's girlfriend? The lady in the hat with the hammer. Eric, thank you for the super chat. Says, wow, thanks. iCkEdMeL and all in chat. Thank you. Thank you. Quinn B, thanks for the super chat. Damn, Q just took us to church. There's no way this man would speak to global media, challenging law enforcement and promising receipts if he was lying. Maybe that's why all those clips were cut and chopped. The news didn't want to push shit out. Because the news and cops, sometimes they kind of work hand in hand. They rely on each other. Annie, damn, it's been a long ass time. How you doing? Annie 411. Thank you. The news station are watching his channel. Yeah, that's true. That Malia Davis thing, that was the first time I had news contacting me, and it was nuts because I interviewed the killer's father. Like, he reached out to me. That was so wild. I really thought it was a troll. I almost wasn't even going to answer that email. I thought it was a troll. But that's when I sometimes kind of learn to try to give people a little bit of the benefit of the doubt when you can. Cheeks, 19 months. Holy moly. Chat so invested into everything else. Nails tone of speech, but ignoring the fact that they are speaking for Rudy when the cops don't give a F. Dr. Matthews was fire. Thank you, Cheeks. Melissa B, thank you for the super chat. Says praying for Rudy will be okay after all the craziness. Thank you, Mel. Krista, 21 months. Thank you so much for resubscribing as well. Thank you for covering this so diligently. Happy weekend. Thank you. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Nurse Sandy, thank you for the 18-month membership. Says prayers for Rudy. Letitia, thank you for the stars. Oh, that name makes me think of Stalk. But thank you so much for the stars on Facebook. Eric Schultz, thank you for becoming a member. If you're new to the membership, check out. I'm telling you, you'll enjoy at least the LSD story. A crazy time of my life. Check out the LSD story. There's a couple other interesting ones, but like that's my crazy one. 2010. Crazy time of my life. More 17, thank you for the 4-month membership. Her whole life was a hustle and scam. All lies. You have at least 8 years of BS that you can dig up on her. Thank you for all you do, Mel. You're awesome. And Flossie, thank you so much for all your help, because I wouldn't have got 90-something% of this shit without you sending it. 95, 98. Alicia, Ashley, thank you so much for the membership. And iCkEdMeL 1. Thank you for the super chat. Canada, iCkEdMeL, come on, I'm cracking people up here, but I need you to sing insert piano intro. Oh, he just died in my. I forgot how the song goes. He just died in my arms tonight. I don't know. I feel like they'd cancel me for that too. Sled. I know the song you're talking about. I don't know why I can't get the rhythm in my head right now though. Died in my arms tonight. I'm gonna have to listen to that track. I mean, we can make fun of that because it's fake. It never happened, but okay, so yeah, Flossie sent me something to look at. Let me check this out. Firearm disorderly conduct, criminal mischief. 1996, 1994. For Janie. Oh, let's see. State of Texas versus Uristi. Janie. Criminal mischief. And 1994, State of Texas versus Janie. Disorderly conduct, firearm, deadly weapon. Devin Proctor, thank you for the membership. Susanna sending me more stuff from the Facebook groups. Yeah, the Farias, the father, Rudolph's father, I heard they were never married. They were side pieces. He was cheating and he was married to somebody else. Yeah. All right. I'm dying in your arms tonight. That's kind of lame. I gotta get to the whole thing. The whole Janie's got a gun that's been in my head for a while. Janie's got a gun. Yeah, man, there's people out there like this though. For sure, there's not no.
There was no sexual abuse reported. So what are you suggesting? Because he was of age, he gave consent? Is that what you're trying to suggest?
Ooh.
Let me tell you something.
They canceled by the mob. I mean, I'm talking about the police.
Rudy is a victim. Man's dignity as my. His mama called me and Rudy demanded that I stay. And so I said, okay. I sat down next to him. And we asked the mother to leave. She didn't want to leave.
All right. I guess I'm gonna get off because I'm kind of. Janie's got 2 guns, right? Yeah, I'm a little burnt. I'm gonna take a little break. But I did go to the doctor today for the people that have been asking because I had this cough. I went to the urgent care. They gave me 3 medications, which I gotta take. So they gave me a Z-Pack. They gave me a Z-Pack and a Tessalon Pearls, which is a coughing pill. And if you notice, I don't think I've even coughed this stream. I don't think I've coughed. They gave me the Z-Pack and the Tessalon Pearls. And I didn't cough one time when I was in the office. I really felt like I was getting better. But as soon as I started walking out and I was almost out the door, I coughed a couple of times. And then when I got to the car and I was putting Maddie in the car, they come out. They're like, Melvin, come back here, come back. So I came and she was like, oh, the doctor heard me cough. He finally heard me cough as I was leaving. They were like, you know what? We're going to give you the steroid as well. So I went and they gave me the steroid. So I got 3 prescriptions. The steroid, the Tessalon Pearls, and the Z-Pack. And so I just filled it. It was cheap as hell too. The prescriptions was like $10 each. No insurance. I was like, okay. Yo, Buttercup, baby, I agree. No, so the pearls, when I did a short members video earlier today, I just let people know I'm good. I took the medicine because people were like on me, like, Mel, go get checked out, right? I kept hearing your guys' I want to say voices, but it's not voices. I kept picturing your comments in my head. But people say that those Tessalon Pearls are amazing for them. For me personally, they never really work. Those Tessalon Pearls, but some people swear by it. I think one time a doctor told me that it doesn't work for everybody. Yeah, the steroid is the prednisolone, which I've heard mixed things about it because somebody told me that it makes their heart race. Somebody else told me it makes them gain weight. I'm like, damn, I already am stuck on, I can't lose weight for some reason. Steroid's going to make you moody as fuck? I don't know. Does it do that? I got to look up the side effects for prednisolone. Yeah, 3 times a day. That's what I got to do. Take, I think it's 2-3 times a day or 1-3 times a day. The Z-Pack, yeah, it usually takes like 24 hours to like start kicking in. I prefer the syrup as well. I really do. And my mother, when I talked to her today, she was like, "You're gonna go to the doctor?" I was like, "Yeah, Ma, like they keep telling me." And she's like, "Oh, but I haven't heard you cough." And I was like, "Ma, like these people hear me more than you and me." You know, like, because I haven't really been coughing around my mother too much, but I'm like, if you were watching the streams, you'd hear me coughing. And she was like, "Oh, okay." Oak said it'll eventually go away by itself, but you're a quitter. And you know, my lungs sounded like she said it was like there was nothing in my lungs. Like it wasn't like wheezing. There was no, it didn't sound like liquid. And I asked about pneumonia because people were like pneumonia, but she was like, you haven't had a fever, you haven't had chills. It's unlikely that like it'll be pneumonia. So, but there was a nice doctor. Short term will not make you gain weight, will not make you moody either. Okay, yeah, I think it's just for a couple days, the prednisone and the Z-Pack. I feel like, you know what I thought about when they gave me those meds? I thought about Joe Rogan. Because when he had COVID, and these news people, you ever seen Joe Rogan, how like CNN, they made him appear yellow and stuff? When they made a post about him, they tinted his photo to make it seem like because he took all these meds, he was really sick or because he got COVID. Joe Rogan CNN picture. Let's see if I can find that shit. That shit was so, there was like a side by side. That shit was so funny. Where's the side by side here? Oh, where's the picture at? Here it is. I'll just show it to you guys right here. I was like, bro, Joe was firing on their ass. Syrup has codeine. I gotten syrup before, but they didn't give me the codeine one. I would have taken it. But they gave me the promethazine with something else. It wasn't with codeine. Yo, this shit, back then, this thing had me dying. CNN broadcast version, original Joe Rogan Instagram version. And at the time, I remember one of the times that I got COVID, they gave me DeSantis. He was doing the thing where they were letting you take the experimental, I mean, I don't know if it's, I guess experimental treatment. It's something that's been used a lot of times. I forgot the name of it. There was a drug that, like, if you get COVID and you go to the place within a certain amount of time, they'll inject this injection in you, and it's supposed to make the symptoms less. And so at first, because I never got vaccinated, at first I wasn't going to do it. But a couple of days in, I was feeling kind of worse. But then one day I felt better, and I was like, okay, it's over. But then I started feeling worse the next day, and I was like, you know what? Let me just go. I don't want to play games. Let me just go knock it out because I got to do YouTube and whatever. So I went, and they gave me the shot, I think like in my stomach or something. It was weird. It was multiple shots. It wasn't even an IV bag. It was like direct. I don't know if it was IM. I guess it was IM or sub-Q. I don't know. Probably IM. And I got better pretty quick. But I remember him saying he threw the kitchen sink at it when he got sick. And so I feel like this is what I'm doing, the kitchen sink. Though sometimes I think it's not bad to let your body fight it off, right? I'm surprised they gave me the Z-Pack because a lot of the times I feel like doctors cut back on that because they said they don't want you taking too much Z-Pack, and they were handing that shit out like candy. But they just gave me that shit. Thanks, Tony. Yes, it was an antiviral IV. I had the antiviral. Yeah, it was an antiviral IV. Something. They just they put it in your stomach. Aren't you taking the horse medicine? No. That's what they were saying, the horse tranquilizer. Which the funny thing about that drug too is when I did research on it myself, it was really like one of the rated it got like some sort of award, like it's one of the safest drugs. I did a whole bunch of research on it back then. I was like, it was so crazy how the media was spinning it to be like this crazy, experimental, dangerous, life-threatening drug, and it really wasn't that at all. So what are you confused about? Same story. He speaks truth. What are you confused? What are you talking about? You might be watching behind, though. I don't know. I don't know if you're watching right now. You're probably, because some people. The other thing too with streams, some people are like watching old stuff, the other part of the stream, and so I think they're commenting now. But like, I don't know. She might be referring to something in the stream. Z pack. I've been taking vitamin C. Get some vitamin. I mean, not C, D. I've been taking vitamin D. Yeah, I don't know. Antibiotic can't cure a virus. I haven't had an antibiotic in a long, like years. So. Do you mean the media distorts images? Actually, I was dying when that whole thing happened. Discord, yeah, make sure you guys check out Discord as well, especially if you're not getting all the notifications. We got a nice little community there. There's Discord, and then there's just the Discord notifications. If you don't want to be part of the community, you just want notifications. Oh, look, the bot's not working? Oh, it is working. Discord notifications. There's also the notification server. So if you just want notifications, you don't want to chat or be bothered with that, you can just join the... I'm doing it wrong. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Zombie movies is one of my favorite movies. Type of movies. Well, kind of. I like zombie movies and I like post-apocalyptic movies a lot. I've watched a lot of them on Netflix as well. Someone comments and signs Rudy Uristi. Really? Very red. True. Well, Pamela said, how is it a rabbit hole? His mom abused him, period. Yeah, I mean, if you just look at it from the surface, if that's all you're going to look at, but it's so much more than that. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to head out. Thank you guys so much for coming through. I really appreciate it. If you could subscribe if you're not already. I'll keep following the story. That project video, for some reason, YouTube hasn't checked it yet. I don't know why. Maybe they're looking at it now. I don't know. So we'll see. Hopefully I can drop that. We'll see what other stories come. At the end of the month, I'd like to cover Taylor Swift business too. If they stream it, I think they will. Or the suitcase lady, whatever happens, we'll see. Oh, Train to Bus. Isn't that the Japanese story? It's in subtitles. Train to Bus yesterday, and Peninsula as well. Highly recommend them both. Zombie movie? Yeah, there's a lot. There's a whole lot to this case. It's not just chip usage, period. There's a whole... I mean, we wouldn't have spent hours if there wasn't more than just that. So, yeah, I went to the doctor. Yeah, my mother was telling me I shouldn't even stream. I was like, just take a couple days. Like, I already took a couple days. I feel like I took a couple days last week, didn't I? Or I didn't? What did we do last week? I feel like at some point, either last week or the week before that, I took a couple days. I feel like since Letitia, I've kind of fallen back a little bit. I feel like now I'm ready to come back and start doing more videos. I really don't know how to, like, just not stream. Like, I feel weird when I'm not doing YouTube. But I've actually been gaming a little bit yesterday. That's been kind of fun. The last 2-3 days I've been gaming a little bit. The Hammer of Justice. Subtitles, right? Okay, yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Train to Busan. Yes, Cheeks. It was amazing? Okay. No, I don't think you rested. I haven't been sleeping. I've been staying up mad late. I have been staying up like till 3-4 in the morning, and having like some college kid, high school kid schedule, and waking up. I was waking up at almost 12. Now I'm kind of forcing myself to like be up by like 10. I'm trying to like force my body into like going back to sleep at a normal time, but it hasn't been too successful. All right, man. Good night, guys. Love you. If there's a chase, I hope there's a chase. It's Friday night. It would be nice. If we get a chase, that would be really nice. All right. Night. Peace. Bye. Dios. Oh, Morris, there you are. Yeah, that was fun. I had fun last night. I'm 37. Oh no, I'm 38. Shit, I'm 38. Right? Yeah, I'm 38. I turned 38. Damn, getting old. I don't know what game to play. Oh, you know, I heard Last of Us. Yo, have you played Last of Us, Hoax? That's a post-apocalyptic game, right? I heard that game was amazing. Last of Us? Isn't there a movie for that too? Or a movie coming out? But that's like an RP game. That game you'll have to probably put an hour. I'm afraid to get into any kind of RP. Anything that requires too much commitment. I don't want to get sucked in. But Last of Us I could play at my own pace, I guess, right? It's not like an open world, so I don't have to worry about competing and fighting with other people. These young kids that got they're just modified and playing all day long and Adderall and shit. I've always wanted to play that game, Last of Us. Oh, there's a show on HBO Max? Or show HBO Max. The show is awesome too? Play The Last of Us? Or maybe I'll download it then. You watched the playthrough? Really, Cheeks? That's, yeah, generational trauma, Pamela. Oh, no. Luffy. I've played Dying Light. That game was dope as ish. I played Dying Light 1. I didn't play 2. Dying Light 1 came out years ago. That was a really dope ass zombie game. That was fun as hell. I used to play with my friend. You can play that game online, right? Dying Light. Shit, I don't know what to play now. Dying Light had really nice graphics too. That game was a beautiful game. It reminds me of Rust because I think I played Rust the first one. I don't know if there's a second one. I played Rust and that game was really, the graphics were ahead of its time back then. Oh, what was that other zombie game? What was that really fun zombie game? Who Do You Voodoo? What's that song? Who Do You Voodoo? There's another fun zombie game. Best zombie games. Another multiplayer zombie game. I forgot the name of that shit. Who Do You Voodoo? Is it Dead Rising? I think you're right. Who Do You Voodoo? No, I never got into Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead was really dope, I heard, though. That had a really big following. I never got a chance to really play it like that. But I don't think it's Left 4 Dead, Mo. There's another one. Is it Dead Rising? Wasn't it like a zombie one that's on an island? I don't even think it's Dead. Oh, maybe it is Dead Rising. Dead Island. Dead Island. That game was really fun too. Hey, Francis, how you doing? There's a lot of options. I don't know what to play. Damn, they even have a Dead Island 3. Either Last of Us or I don't know, there's Dying Light 2. I heard Red Dead Redemption was really good. I never got into it, but I heard that's one of the ones too that's like Dying Light 2 is better, really, with in-game mechanics and co-op. Ooh. Nunya, love it. Oh, thanks, Nunya. Nanaya. Yeah, I could talk with friends for like hours. I sometimes try to stay off the phone because like I could easily, each person I talk to could be like hours on the phone. Dead Island PlayStation. Oh, I've always wanted to play Division, but I heard that game would kind of flop though. I remember back in the day before it came out when I was actually gaming, my friends used to talk about it and they had this really cool preview. It looked so amazing. Was that the first one that flopped? Or is it actually good? Maybe it never flopped. That game looks so dope. Oh, Portal's another one. I never really got into it, but that was very, very popular and big. Division is good. Kind of boring. I saw somebody comment the other day about Earthworm Jim. You ever played that shit? I used to have that for Super Nintendo. That game was dope. Earthworm Jim. Back in the day. Or Donkey Kong. Or Zelda. I used to play the old Zelda or Mega Man. Games used to be really hard back then. Half-Life. I've played some of the Half-Lives. Those were a lot of fun. I didn't play the new ones, and they came out with a VR one, which I heard was insane. The Half-Life VR. Assassin's Creed I've played too, which was dope. I haven't played the new ones, but I used to play the old one. I played that stealth game too. I forgot the name of the guy. I mean, Solid Gear. Was it Solid Gear? Solid Gear was dope as shit back in the day. Solid Gear. Or Metal Gear. Metal Gear. I'm thinking of Solid Snake and Metal Gear, combining them. But it's Metal Gear. Metal Gear was dope. I think I played 1 and 2. Snake! Snake! Yeah, you didn't know Half-Life was VR. They have a VR one, and I heard it was really good. Diablo, I've played 1, 2, and 3. I haven't played 4. Diablo is a great game. I've played the Warcrafts. Warcraft 3, I think, had a really good story. I love the story Warcraft 3 had. It was really captivating. I used to play World of Warcraft as well. And if you beat the Metal Gear Solid a couple of times, you get the suit. You get him in a tux and stuff. I think the first one. That game was hard too. They don't make games hard anymore, right? Like the games are all just easy now. Everything's just like everybody gets to win and stuff. No, Resident Evil was so fun. I don't know about the latest ones, but like the first one for PlayStation, that shit was creepy. That game used to scare me. I couldn't play that game in the dark by myself. That shit would scare me. Resident Evil, like the first one, the second one. I thought Nemesis was fun too. I like Nemesis. That kind of scared me too. That guy would jump out of anywhere. That game was just like so dark. I haven't played Among Us, but I know that was really popular. I think it's a fun game, right? It's a fun game. I think Maddie has that on Roblox. They have like a Roblox version of that. Bepkins. Tomb Raider was so much fun too. I played the first and second one, I think. After that, I think it got kind of lame. Silent Hill. Oh, that game is scary. I feel like that game is scarier than Resident Evil. Silent Hill was creepy as shit. I played the first and second one. I think they have maybe a third one. They might have a third one. Did I play the second? Yeah, they have a 3. The first one was scary as hell. Creepy, scary, dark. You had no idea where anything was coming from. Discord has games. Does Discord have Among Us? I know Discord has like games now. I don't know how it works. Yeah, the Silent Hill games are really fun, trying to solve the puzzle, figure things out. I never played The Suffering, no. I used to be really big into Call of Duty. I mean, I still play now, but I'm not like I used to be back then. And then I used to play Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six back then was really good. I don't think it's really good anymore. They kind of ran that game into the shitter, I guess. Rainbow Six was really fun, challenging. I think my favorite Call of Duty was Black Ops 2. You used to play like tournaments and those clan matches and stuff. It was a lot of pressure, especially because I think sometimes. Oh wait, some of the clan matches were search and destroy, and so it could be very challenging because there's been numerous times where like your whole team is dead, you're by yourself against like 3 or 4 people. So much pressure, and everybody's watching you. I've had a couple of crazy clutch games where I've killed multiple people. Like my friends always laugh. My friends were better than me, but I would sometimes come in clutch in these really crazy, nutty situations. And there used to be this guy called a long time ago when I was playing Xbox. There was this Mexican guy. His name was Hum My Nuts. And I used to play with this guy. This was before I met my other gamer friends. Hum My Nuts. I don't know whatever happened to this guy. But he reminds me of another friend that I used to be friends with that takes gaming like very, very serious. Like he would curse you. Wow, what the F are you doing? What the fuck? Like just nuts. I almost didn't even like playing with that one friend because like sometimes it would make it unenjoyable because it was like a little too much, but it was super competitive. And so Hum My Nuts, this is a different guy. We used to play together, and we used to play these sometimes these tournament matches. And I remember one time because he was getting pissed because we were losing, and there was this one map that it was like this car show, and there's like this open parking lot outside of the car show. There's like not a car show. It's a car dealership, and so one is inside the dealership. Then there's an outside area to the dealership, and there's another part of the dealership where it's like on the inside. So we start on the inside where it's like this extra room. And then there's the main dealership room where the cars are there. The other team starts there. So we were losing. And Hum My Nuts, because when you're playing these clan match things too, whatever, there's friendly fire. It's not like team deathmatch where you can shoot through your teammate and they're not going to die. If you screw up with a grenade, a flashbang, you shoot the wrong place, whatever, you kill your own teammate. You're putting your whole team at risk. So like there's more on the line. And so this guy said, "Get the fuck out of my way. Get out of my way." Because there's this one door, right? Where we spawn, there's a door into the showroom. But that door is like a choke point. It's a hot spot. Nobody ever just runs into this shit because as soon as the game starts, people are throwing grenades, flashbangs. People are pre-firing. There's smoke. You can't even see. This guy killed almost our whole team. Get the fuck out of my... He shoots the team. They all die. Like, I'm one of the surviving people, and I'm just in shock. I just stopped. He runs in there. There's grenades, smoke, guns. He killed their whole team. He killed the whole team. And we won the match. This shit was like years before Maddie was born. Over a decade, I think. I never forget that story. Hum My Nuts. And I don't know what happened to him. He disappeared. I don't even know if he's alive. I don't know what happened to that guy. Some Mexican guy. And you can hear the Mexican in his voice, you know? The legend of Hum My Nuts. That shit was crazy, man. I was shocked. He sacrificed everybody in the team and just mowed through them. Oh my God. That was Rainbow Six. That was before I met my other buddies when we were in Call of Duty. Oh man. Those were the days, yo. It's a lot of pressure because then when I would play with those guys, when I met this other group of friends, we met through a random match, and the one guy, he liked how I played, and so we became friends, and we became like actual friends. Like I knew about his life, he knew about my life. He introduced me to other guys. They were military guys too. My friend was a medic. The other one, I forgot what the other one did. And it was fun playing with those guys. I knew them for years, but it was really, really intense. Like it was almost too much sometimes because there's a lot of pressure. It's not a thing where I would play with them and feel like relaxed. It's not like a thing where I'd be like, oh, let me just relax and have some fun. It was intense. Do you like the first person shooter? I do like first person shooters. Oh my nuts. So I remember too, I one time broke a game. I only ever broke a game once. I think it was Black Ops. We were playing a match and I literally snapped the disc in half. I was pissed. And I bought the game back the next day. So yeah, Daylight's fun. I guess if I tried Daylight, I'd have to get part 2 because I've played part 1. I think I beat the game too a couple times years ago. I don't know if you can beat the game. I'm pretty sure I did like all the quests or whatever there is. So I know. I'm getting off now because I'm gonna go chill. I'm gonna eat something and go chill for a little bit. I don't know. We'll see if we come back tonight. Sam's. An hour later. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye. Bloop, 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 bloop. Later. Adios.